What's up, people? How we doing? How we doing? All right, a little bit of a different setup for us today. Badaki is not at his home computer. Let us know if the audio sounds okay. If there's something, you know, that you're like, hey, can we turn that ish down or this ish up? Just let us know.
Yeah, I'm currently chilling with family. So usually I kind of run the live stream, and like when I say I run the live stream, I have all like the technical stuff in the background on my computer, and Zach, honestly, looks pretty, and he sits there and is coasting. Nah, but obviously it's a group effort. But yeah, it's a little bit different. I had to set him up. But yeah, let us know how
he's saying is I don't do anything. That's just disrespectful.
He actually does everything. You just don't know.
We both do a lot to make this happen. All right. What's up, people? Thank you for joining us. If you have not done so yet, please drop a like. Here's how this is going to work. Pretty simple. You're going to drop your questions, and we're going to answer them. If you want your question answered straight away, just drop a super chat. People were doing that last week for whatever amount, and we'll get to your question as soon as possible. Otherwise, we are going to answer them in order. So in the order that they come in. Whether you won or lost last week, don't stress. We got another week. Let's get to it. What would be super helpful is when you ask your question, let us know if it's PPR, half PPR, standard, if anyone's playing standard anymore. If, as much information as possible is better for us. And a little disclaimer, we're going to give you the advice of what we would do if it was our team. We can't promise you what's going to happen. Unfortunately, we don't have a crystal ball, but we are going to tell you the advice or give you the advice of what we would do if it was actually our team. So I can't see one of the questions that's right before Thomas's. I don't know if you can see it, Badaki, just because there's a pinned chat.
Yeah, I can't see it. I don't know why. It's pretty weird.
Yeah.
Hey, whoever's on top there,
just ask your question
before
again.
Thomas. Can you just ask a question? Yeah, for some reason we just can't see it.
All right, let's start with Tommy's here. Start, sit, Elijah Mitchell or Tyson Williams. Full PPR, real tough. I don't know if Mitchell will even get snaps. So, honestly, like with this situation, I'm definitely going Elijah Mitchell. I think if you look at Elijah Mitchell and Tyson Williams' situation, to me it feels like Tyson is more in a running back by committee than Elijah Mitchell. I would argue that personally, that he's more in a running back by committee. And that's because the coaching staff has come out and said, we're going to get a lot of running backs into the rotation. That's not what you want to hear when you have Tyson Williams on your team. Obviously, Tyson Williams is going up against the Kansas City Chiefs. I think Badaki's probably going to see this different to me. But I'm personally probably starting Elijah Mitchell. It is pretty close. I get it, but best run offense in the league. We have to go from what we have seen, and what we have seen is Elijah Mitchell is going to be the guy. So, and I know it's only 1 week, but we have to utilize the information that we know right now to make these decisions. So I'm going Elijah Mitchell. Badaki, you might see this differently.
I think the only thing that I would have to, I guess, counter for that argument is that I don't think he would be the workhorse. I think it would be a running back. I think both of these backfields will be a running back by committee. And I think that's where the gray area is. We don't really understand. We don't really know what it's going to look like. I think it's going to be, you throwing up a prayer and saying, I really hope Elijah Mitchell is going to get the majority of the workload. I really hope Tyson Williams is going to get the majority of the workload.
Just to hop in there, right? What's interesting is a lot of people don't realize this. Tyson had a great game last week, but he was out-touched already. Latavius, not even like on a full week on the active roster, and he was out-touched in that game. So I know that he played well. He did make a couple mistakes. Tyson and Elijah, both good options. I'm going Elijah Mitchell, who was clearly the guy when Raheem Mostert went out. Yeah. So, I mean, that's what we know right now, whereas Latavius Murray did take touches away from Elijah Mitchell already. So,
yeah, and I think in the opposite for the 49ers is that Trey wasn't playing.
But he was healthy, and he was there, and he's been there the entire offseason. Trey didn't play because he was a healthy scratch. So that's even more worrying in my opinion.
Yeah, and once again, that's just where we see differently. Just not to linger on the question for too long, just for people so people can have context of where we're both coming from. Because I think a lot of people are going to have questions about Elijah Mitchell. For me, it's just I think Trey's going to come in. Both of these guys were drafted. I think they're going to be utilized. They're going to see who's going to have the opportunity, who's going to be a guy that's going to get more of these touches. I would personally go Tyson Williams just because yes, Latavius Murray did out-touch him, but it was clear that he was more young. He was the younger, obviously, and the more explosive back in that backfield. And same thing with Elijah Mitchell, but we haven't seen Trey Sermon on the field yet.
And he was there at the end. So I'm going Elijah Mitchell. It's not close for me. I understand it, but I'm definitely going to go Elijah Mitchell in this. When coaches show you something, it's no longer like preseason hype. They showed you what they want to do. So I know that could change. I know Sermon could come in, but on the other side, the Ravens have also stated publicly this will be a running back by committee. They're going to get 3 to 4 running backs in there. So personally, I'm actually probably going to be. I'm definitely going to be going Elijah Mitchell.
He wants to jump in. Instead,
Dylan Tyler.
Make a donation.
Thank you for the donation, my guy. Not even a question. Dylan, drop a question if you have one. Thank you for the love.
Really
big love. There was
man.
A lot of super chats last week, which meant a lot to us. Thank you so much. If you have a question and you want to answer straight away, you know what to do. Drop it. All right. What's up, Lakers? Greg, let's answer your question. We probably won't go that detailed into every question, but I think Elijah Mitchell's a big disagreement between you and I. So,
yeah, 100%.
Greg says start 2 PPR: Gaskin, Henderson, Waddle, Mitchell, Jamal Williams, Tim Patrick. By the way, thank you so much, Dylan. I don't think we've actually had him on the live stream. Thank you. Like that, I don't actually remember you being on live stream. Thank you so much. All right, so this is a big question. Start 2 PPR. For me, this is actually relatively easy. I like Tim Patrick, but I would rather wait and see, and I think you have better options. Mitchell, I think you can wait and see because the other 2 running backs that you have. Waddle is a decent start, but I mean you can't sit Gaskin and Henderson out of these options, can you?
Yeah. No, I completely agree. You can't sit those guys. These guys have not a good matchups. One against the Colts, and obviously Dolphins against the Bills. So these are 2. Well, Dolphins and Bills are a rivalry game, but obviously Myles Gaskin is a good PPR guy. He can be catching the ball. And Daryl Henderson, he looked decent last week.
Yeah.
So I'm actually pretty excited because I was hesitant on Henderson. So we're going to see how that works out this week. But yes, Myles Gaskin, Daryl Henderson.
Yep, that's pretty easy for us both. I'm glad we're on the same page. What's up, Enrico? What's up, Lakers? What's up, Tom?
What's happening?
This is for the same team, half PPR, Godwin or Elijah Mitchell and Gronk or Everett. This is pretty easy. I think we would see this the same. Godwin's going up against Atlanta. He's a smash start. Anything could happen, right? But you have to start Chris Godwin, and then I think you have to start Gronk.
Yeah. You have to. I mean, the way it's going, I don't like it, but it's the way it's going. You have to start Gronk.
Yeah. By the way, if you're on Twitch, don't be afraid to drop a question. We're answering questions from both YouTube and Twitch. We will answer them in order. Super chats will get answered straight away. Ed Mack, what's up, my guy? Quarterback 2, full PPR, Matt Ryan or Sam Darnold. Matt Ryan goes up against Tampa Bay. Who is Sam Darnold playing? I believe it's the Saints. Is that right?
No, Sam Darnold, yes, is playing the Saints.
Okay. I almost said instant reactions here.
I almost said he was playing the Patriots because I thought he was still on the Jets.
I think it's probably not what people want to hear, but I think it might be Matt Ryan.
Yeah, it seems like the matchup is going to be good. This is a division game. You know,
Tampa Bay secondary is banged up.
Yeah, you expect them to score a lot. I mean, history always says Tampa and Atlanta go at it every single year, you know, in a division game. It's not exciting, but it feels like that's the right answer. And Sam Darnold is going against the Saints, which technically shut down Aaron Rodgers last week. So
yeah,
it has to be Matt Ryan. We both don't like it, but it has to be
No, I don't
Matt
like
Ryan.
it, but it has to be Matt Ryan. I understand the concern there, Tommy, but personally, I'm going Elijah. Badaki's going to go Tyson. Let's quickly answer this question over on Twitch, and we'll get back to the YouTube chat. Question was, PPR flex, Antonio Brown or Daryl Henderson? So it's a PPR league, which makes it a little bit more difficult because typically in a PPR format in your flex, you would want to start a wide receiver. Henderson is playing. Sorry, let me just look at this. Indiana, which is a decent defense.
And then they're playing. Antonio Brown's playing the Falcons.
Yeah, I think it might have to be AB. I don't like it, but I might have to go Antonio Brown.
I really don't like it either. I think Antonio Brown will find he will at least get minimum 4 catches. Will he find that? I think the difference is he going to find the end zone?
Yeah, I would say Henderson probably has the better chance at a touchdown, right? Because they'll probably have some goal line opportunities. And Henderson was very effective last week. I don't believe he got a touchdown. I might be wrong on that, but I don't believe he even got a touchdown. So
no. So I think for me, I would go. Once again, if you're new to the stream, they're on Twitch Rum. I know Zach and I believe that AB, he is a boomer bust currently.
We still believe he's boomer bust. Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I'm going to be starting Jero Henderson.
Here's what I'll say. If you can look at your matchup and you can say, man, I really need a high upside risky play, AB. But if you look at your matchup and you're like, I just need to play it safe with this flex, then go Henderson. Mm-hmm. That's how I would approach it. If I'm looking at my opponent's team and he has a stellar team, I'm like, you know what? F it, put AB in there. Let me get some high upside and see what happens. But if I want to play it safe, it's Henderson.
He just messaged. He's like, benched AB last week and it burned me. So, like, I guess you just have to start AB with what happened last week. It feels like it will feel wrong not to start him because you had him on your bench.
Yeah.
And you probably lost that matchup. Or if you didn't, that's great. But
exactly. Yeah. I honestly think upside AB, safe Henderson. That's how I'm playing it. If it's my league. Yeah. All right. The next question was This is from Ed Mack here. By the way, guys, if you don't know, drop your questions. We're answering them over on YouTube and Twitch. Super chats we can answer straight away. Thank you so much for joining us. If you haven't dropped a like, do so to help your boys out. Ed Mack said, other League 2 quarterbacks, Trevor Lawrence or Darnold. I have CMC also on this team. In that scenario, what's weird is I think Urban Meyer has no idea what he's doing. And it looks like he just wants to be a complete run heavy or pass heavy offense and not utilize the proper running backs at all. Honestly, that situation really worries me with James Robinson, and I'm someone who has James Robinson in quite a few leagues. But Trevor Lawrence, Sam Darnold, I mean, they're both against good defenses. I might lean Sam Darnold there, but it is true. It's truly a toss up. Badaki, I mean, I don't like that Denver defense. That secondary is nasty.
Yeah, the secondary is nasty. For me, I think it was always going to be Sam Darnold. He's playing at home. It feels a lot more confident. He did great last week. Why not start Sam Darnold?
Why not?
Trevor Lawrence, he's still a rookie, and why not us? And he's still learning. Yeah. So for me, I would start Sam Darnold.
Love it. All right, what's up, Balidat? Jacoby Myers, Damien Harris, or Robbie Anderson, PPR pick 2. For me, I love Jacoby, but I think Damien Harris and Robbie Anderson probably should be the answer.
Absolutely.
Robbie Anderson, I have him in a league, and I am worried. I'm worried because last year was a great year. I tried to trade Robbie all this week. No one would even entertain the trades. And I think what worries me the most is this year that he had last year didn't involve CMC.
Yes.
It really worries me. Well. So I think Damien Harris has to be the start. But then between Robbie Anderson and Jacoby Myers, do you have an opinion between those two?
I do, because I'm in a situation like this, not necessarily Robbie Anderson, but Jacoby Myers. I have him in a couple leagues.
Against the Jets.
I believe he does have the better matchup versus Robbie Anderson against the Saints. That secondary for the Saints is pretty good. I think they're going to really, hold them down. They held down Devonte Adams and Aaron Rodgers last week. Hopefully they can continue that. Well, you don't hope so, but
you're going Jacoby here?
You expect them to continue that momentum. So why not go with Jacoby Myers with a good matchup?
Okay, so you're going Jacoby there. I can see the reasoning. By the way, Jacoby Myers, let me double check on this. We just got the snap percentages from last week. I believe he played on 99% of snaps, 9 targets for 6 receptions against a good Miami defense. So I think the safer play is Jacoby Myers. Here's the deal. The higher upside play is Robbie Anderson. So you have to decide whether you want safe or the high upside. I think it's Jacoby and Damien Harris. Do you agree? Yep.
I agree. All
right. What's 100%. Up? Andrew Mannion, non-PPR.
Brother.
James Robinson, Daryl Henderson, Elijah Mitchell, or Tyson Williams. In this scenario, I don't want to start James Robinson personally. I would go Elijah Mitchell, especially because it's non-PPR. One of the best running backs, one of the best run offenses in the league. I would go Daryl Henderson and Elijah Mitchell. Badaki?
For me, Daryl Henderson and Tyson Williams.
Okay. So it's definitely Daryl Henderson. We just see things differently, so I hope you can see the two perspectives and make that decision.
Yeah.
I'm going Elijah Mitchell. He's going Tyson Williams.
I think it's just good to preference because obviously there's a couple of new people in the chat. Zach believes in Elijah Mitchell. He believes he's going to get the majority of the snap count and not be, I guess, vultured by anyone else.
No. Hold on. I've never said that. Okay,
I don't think
he's going to be vultured. I agree that there's probably going to be another running back in the rotation, but I do think that what they showed us last week is somewhat the truth. I think Elijah Mitchell did beat out Trey Sermon. I could be wrong. It wouldn't be surprising if Trey Sermon came in there and was, the best running back this week. But I'm personally going to be going Elijah Mitchell, best run offense, even if it's a 50-50 split. At least it's not a 33-33-33, which is probably what's going to happen in Baltimore, in my opinion, between Tyson, Latavius, and Devonta Freeman. So that's where I sit on that. But
yeah. I think that it's going to be running back by committee over there in San Francisco. I think it's all going to be the same. It's going to be Tyson Williams or Elijah Mitchell. Or obviously it's going to be jumbled between all those different guys on each side of the ball on both of those teams.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm just more comfortable starting Tyson Williams.
All right.
In this perspective.
Sup, Jacob?
So people understand.
Hey guys, make sure that you drop if it's PPR, standard, non-PPR, that's going to help us answer the question. I see Jacob said PPR down below. James Robinson, Devonta Smith, or Elijah Mitchell for flex. Devonta Smith is going up against the Niners. Obviously, Elijah Mitchell is going up against the Eagles. I would probably go Devonta Smith there. Badaki, do you have an opinion?
I agree with you. I'm going Devonta Smith. I like his matchup, in my opinion.
It's not a great matchup, but
it's not a great matchup, but the offense looks great. I think Jalen Hurts can definitely move out of the pocket and create something nice. So
considering we're going to see it's your flex, I think there's a reason to go upside, and I think Devonta has the upside in PPR formats.
And I think there's also reason to actually start him because of last week. Like he did totally decent.
Yeah. Let's see. McBride, what's up, my guy?
McBride.
I haven't seen you on the stream before. Welcome. Thanks, guys. Trying to figure out who to put in my flex PPR. Swift, Hines, Jamal Williams, or Corey Davis. I think it's got to be Swift.
It has to be Swift.
If those are the options, it has to be Swift. This team's going to need to score the ball. Tyrell Williams is out. Of course, he has a concussion. That wouldn't be football without Tyrell Williams getting injured. And it looks like it honestly feels like Swift is going to get around 5 to 6 receptions a game. So
look, it's a division game as well. Think about it. They're playing away. You expect the Packers to come back and score a lot of points. They're going to be throwing a lot of screens, in my opinion, dumping the ball in the backfield.
All right, Tommy says, do you believe James White would start over Mitchell? I'm confused by what you mean by that because they're on different teams. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I wouldn't start James White over Mitchell if that's what you're asking. And if Sermon is active, should I still start Mitchell? Guys, Trey Sermon will be active. This should not be a surprise to anyone. If you have Elijah Mitchell and you're starting him, and on Sunday morning you see Trey Sermon is active, that shouldn't be a surprise. They lost a running back. They're going to have to activate their next one. So Trey Sermon will be active. Don't be surprised by that. Michael Monzo, what's up, my guy? Supporter of the show. Big love. Gaskin or Robbie Anderson? I'm going Gaskin. You are going?
Yes. Gaskin as well. I like Gaskin.
All right. Devonta Smith or Elijah Mitchell, full PPR. I think we've addressed that. Yeah. Enrico said you already addressed that question. We got you, bro. Devonta Smith. McBride said, for my other leagues, Mike Williams, Devonta Smith, or Marquez Callaway. Make sure that you guys say if it's PPR, standard, half PPR, but I think that's pretty difficult because Mike Williams' matchup is pretty good.
For me, I'm still going Devonta Smith. His matchup is great, 100% against the Cowboys. I think there's just more safety. Mike Williams is a boom or bust, and at the moment, it doesn't feel Devonta Smith feels like he's the number one option there outside of Zach Ertz, outside of Dallas Goedert. So
hey, bro, go dirt.
Why not? Go dirt.
Yeah, I think between Mike Williams and Devonta Smith, it is a true toss-up. The thing is, I'm gonna go Mike Williams here, and I understand.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I still see.
I understand why.
I still see Devonta Smith as a high upside, risky floor. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think he's a secure start just yet. What we saw was amazing, but Mike Williams looked great, and the matchup is good. Yeah. When I look at both of these game plans, right? I think when you look at Dallas and the Chargers, Dallas can score the ball. They can score touchdowns. The Chargers are going to need to score points to keep up. So I think I see more points in that game compared to the Eagles-49ers game. That's why I'm going Mike Williams, but it is very close.
Okay. I completely agree.
You get where I'm coming from?
Yeah, I completely get where you're coming from. I think I'm more hesitant on Mike Williams because obviously history shows that he's kind of a boom or bust guy.
Thank you for the subscribe there, Charlie. Big love. Thank you for subscribing to the channel.
I appreciate you. Look, I just think that Mike Williams is a boom or bust guy because, maybe Justin Herbert does throw the ball, Mike Williams catches it for a touchdown, 30, 40-yard touchdown. That's great. But the thought process is that he might not catch anything, or he probably get 3 to 4 targets, maybe 20, 30 yards.
I'll agree on this. Mike Williams is the riskier play, but I assume this is flex or wide receiver too. I'm okay taking that risk with the good matchup. I agree it's riskier. Yeah. But I would rather take that risk. If you guys don't know what's going on, we're answering your start-sit questions for week 2. Drop a question. Make sure you say if it's PPR, standard, half PPR. Like the stream if you haven't to show some support. And if you want your question answered straight away, just drop a super chat and we'll get straight to it. Otherwise, we're just going to go in order over here on YouTube and Twitch. Do I trade Robert Woods for Damien Harris and Brandon Nyuk? I have Saquon and Najee, so I want Harris for consistency until Saquon is 100%. Robert Woods for Damien Harris and Brandon Ayuk. Who would have thought we'd be here? I don't know. It worries me personally to trade away Robert Woods in a PPR format. I still think he's going to be great.
Yeah, I still think he's going to be great. He's on the better off as Matthew Stafford. It's clear that he's going to air out that ball. Why not keep Roberto Woods? For me, I see why you would want to get Damien Harris because of Saquon. Man. And Ayuk is hurt, so it's a little bit difficult. The thought process is, when is he going to come back and be healthy?
Yeah. I think if you want to win right now, I think I'm keeping Robert Woods. But if you're okay to take the risk and you already won in week 1 and you want to see how this pans out, it's a risk that's worth taking. But there is massive risk there with the unknowns of Brandon Ayuk. So I'm personally keeping Robert Woods because I need wins right now. And it sucks for everyone who drafted Saquon. I don't want to take a victory lap, but I told everyone this offseason, don't draft him. It's going to take time. And this is what we're seeing now. Thank you for the sub, Nick. Appreciate it. All right, next question is from JW. Henderson or Edmonds? That's a very good question. Let's look at their matchups. That is. And
Chase Edmonds playing the Vikings.
What's
and then
crucial to know in this scenario is if it's PPR or okay, he said PPR down below again. By the way, we're answering these questions in order, guys. So we will get to your question, we promise. So Henderson's against Indiana, and Edmonds is against Minnesota. Honestly, if it's a PPR league, I think I would take the chance on Edmonds.
I think I would lean Edmonds as well. Look, we saw what they did last week. Edmonds was a guy that I believe is going to continue. His role is going to continue to grow. He's going to have a great opportunity. Henderson has a great role, but I think they're going to be throwing the ball. Well, both of these offenses are going to throw the ball more than we like.
Can I say something just quickly as well? Just to throw in on this. Because if it's even half PPR, this will switch for me to Daryl Henderson. I don't know if you guys watched this game in full last week, the Arizona Cardinals game, but there was an opportunity for James Conner to score at the 1 yard line, and I believe there was false start. And James Conner was in most of these goal line touches. It was James Conner, and James Conner got quite a few opportunities. Game script might have been the reason, but I think we're all underestimating James Conner a little bit. If it's even half PPR, I'm going Henderson, but in a full PPR format, I'm going Chase Edmonds. Edmonds is one of our starts of the week that we did over there on YouTube, so I would go Edmonds. You agree?
Yeah, I agree.
All right, next question we got is from Dylan Tyler. What's up, my guy? Just a fun question. I'm in a guillotine league. Would you tend to save fab for later in the season or spend money early? Zeke was picked up for 65%. I got Diggs for 35%. There are so many ways that people play fantasy now. We joined a pirate league. I don't know if you guys have heard of a pirate league. There's so many different ways. Could you please tell us what a guillotine league is? I'm not going to pretend that I know what it is. Do you know what a guillotine league is, Badaki?
I have no idea. It looks like
I bet you we could quickly
it feels like every single pick or every single selection or people that they draft, I guess, is based on fab percentages. So maybe it is how much money you spend. Maybe you will go for the lower tier guys, hoping that they will do decent or spend more money later on. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
people join a guillotine league in preseason. Each week, the lowest scoring team is chopped, and their roster goes into free agency. Draft wisely, manage your bankroll, and keep your head. Wow, the lowest scoring team loses their entire roster. That's sucks, bro. I would use fab in that scenario if you're in a league like that and there's stars on. So here's the deal: if there's a star like Zeke, yeah, I'm gonna go get the guy. Personally, yeah, I would probably want the better players. If you get the players earlier, in theory, your team will get more wins. So I would be more open to spending fab now to get more wins. So I'm not the team that ends up getting guillotined. That's interesting.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's really fun. Ed Mack, you want to ask
Ed Mack. Yeah, full PPR flex. Pick one: Melvin, Gaskin, Tyson, or Mitchell. I'm leaning Melvin.
Gaskin, Tyson, or Mitchell. Melvin has a pretty good matchup against Jacksonville. Who does Gaskin play again? Let me look.
Gaskin plays the Bills.
Yeah, I think I would probably leave Melvin Gordon there.
You would start Melvin. Yeah, why not Melvin, boys? Melvin. I'm telling you, there's something in the air with Melvin. LJV, another new guy. I haven't seen him. What's up, brother? Mayfield or Cousins? 6 points for touchdown.
I would go Mayfield. I would probably go Baker Mayfield in this matchup.
He's playing Texans. Look, he's playing the Texans. Expectation with Baker Mayfield is that he's probably going to let Chubb and Kareem Hunt. Chubb and Kareem Hunt go crazy.
I've just thought about this a little bit more. I'm actually on the Kirk side because this feels like a Chubb Hunt game. You're right.
Yeah, it just feels like that. This game, they're just gonna let the running backs go crazy. So go with Kirk Cousins. This is gonna be a high-scoring game. At least I believe so. With Vikings and Carolina, he threw three touchdowns last week. Kirk Cousins, 2 touchdowns last week.
Yeah,
I think he could do it again this one.
Baker's is probably the safer because of the matchup, but I think the upside is much greater for Kirk Cousins. And you think about those two games, how would those two game scripts go? It's more likely that Cleveland is blowing out Houston and running the ball than Minnesota or Arizona kind of dominating that game. So I agree. I would also go Kirk there. James Martin says Hunt or Drake week 2. Make sure you guys let us know if it's PPR or what the case may be. Hunt
I think I'm starting
Drake.
Kareem Hunt. Yeah. I'm not starting Drake. I don't want to start Peyton Barber. I don't want to start Kenyan Drake because Josh Jacobs is out. I'm avoiding. My sit was Josh Jacobs, and then
we had him as a sit of the week. A sit of the week, yeah.
Yeah. So, because of that injury, and we were hesitant about it, and then now he comes out saying that he's not playing. So it was good. It's good.
Yeah, no. I mean, even if Josh Jacobs was playing, we were going to sit him, so we wouldn't play Drake.
Exactly. Kyle, would you drop Tyson for Gronk 10-man full PPR?
That's rough. That's a rough decision.
I guess it all depends on your running backs, man. It depends on if you need running backs. If you're in a 10 PPR, it seems like you would have enough talent in the running back room, maybe even in the tight end room. Right? Not why not?
No,
I guess why not?
in my
I don't know.
opinion, in a 10-man PPR, you should have enough running backs for Tyson to be like your RB4. There's got to be another player that you can drop, though. There's got to be like a worse wide receiver on your bench that you could drop. If I had to choose between the two, I'm assuming Tyson's like your RB4, so yeah, I'm comfortable with it. But come on, there's got to be a worse player you can drop than Tyson.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would definitely do it. What's the next question here, Nathan?
Enrico, yeah, Nathan. Full PPR, who do I start at flex? Hollywood Brown, KJ Hamler, or Schwartz?
That's rough. I think I would go Hollywood.
I'm going Hollywood as well. The expectation that game's supposed to be a high-scoring game. He needs to throw the ball. Lamar. I believe.
Hamler might have the higher upside, though. Hamler might have the higher upside, but that's a very risky play. I want to wait and see what happens with this Broncos. I don't want to play any Bronco wide receiver this week. I know there's people out there saying, like, start Tim Patrick. I have him, but I want to wait and see what this looks like. I know it's a great matchup, but you might be disappointed in one of those Broncos wide receivers this week.
And I also believe that, everything is mental for me. I'll be completely honest with you. The Hollywood Browns playing Sunday night. And I like the opportunity of my players playing on a Sunday night. I can kind of see how the week has went. And I know that's not something that it's not like an advice, but that's just something that I personally like to do. It's a mental thing, and I know that.
You hate players on Thursday night. I actually enjoy it because I can watch the game with some, some sort of conviction. But also, here's the thing: if you play someone on Sunday night and they shit the bed, you need to go high upside for the rest of the week. I think it's an advantage, right? Like Thursday night, you play someone, they shit the bed, you're like, damn, I need to make the high upside play here. Whereas, if they play well, you can play it safer.
I completely agree. It's definitely a mental thing
so we're going Hollywood.
Hollywood. Andre, Elijah Smith, or Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I'm assuming that's Elijah Mitchell. I'm always going Clyde there in my personal opinion.
Yeah, you gotta go Clyde. Even if this question is Elijah Mitchell or Devonta Smith or Clyde, I'm still going Clyde. I don't know if that's what you meant, but Clyde's the answer for us.
Yeah.
JW said, we already answered that question. Gator fan says, this may be obvious, but just want to check. Sit 2 in full PPR. CEH, Jonathan Taylor, I'm assuming that is. Robbie Anderson, Chase Claypool, Mark Andrews. I believe in his league, tight ends are just wide receivers. I believe in Gators league. Sit 2, full PPR.
I think for me off the bat, one I'm sitting out of those is probably going to be Claypool. I think I would want to start Clyde. I would want to start Jonathan Taylor's hard because he's playing the Rams.
You'd start Jonathan Taylor though.
Just thinking outside
opportunity.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like with my out loud. Clyde, I'm starting. Jonathan Taylor has a tough matchup, but you have to start him. He's a star. Claypool, I'm not playing. Probably Mark Andrews because you expect this team to be down often in this game against the Chiefs. So I think you probably sit Claypool and Robbie.
I just can't sit Robbie for Andrews. I'm sitting Claypool and Andrews.
I would sit Robbie and Claypool. I think Andrews will have a better game.
Here's the thing, though, bro. Like Claypool has a good matchup against the Raiders.
I agree. I agree. I think he does have a good matchup, but I think I want to go.
I honestly think I'm sitting Mark Andrews, and I think I'm going to sit Robbie Anderson this week.
I don't think Mark Andrews will have as bad of a game.
I understand that. I think Andrews is a good start if you're playing tight end. But this guy doesn't have tight end. They just play flex for tight ends. And you can play wide receivers. Yeah. I'm gonna sit Andrews and Robbie Anderson there. Anderson has a much tougher matchup than Chase Claypool. So personally, I'm going Claypool. I've told people that Big Ben is a great start this week. I genuinely believe that. I think Claypool has a great chance to score a touchdown this week. So, yeah, for me, it's got to be Andrews and Robbie Henderson sitting. It doesn't feel good. I don't like being in that situation, but that's what I have to do.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. I'm sitting Robbie Anderson, Claypool, and I'm going with the belief that Mark Andrews is going to have better opportunity coming into week 2. They know it's a tough game. They're gonna air out the ball. It feels like they have to.
Yeah. All right, we'll
Enrico,
see that differently.
Yeah.
Enrico said that we already answered his question, by the way. Again.
Oh, okay. Wait, on Claypool?
Yeah. I mean, we pretty much just talked about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right.
What's up, Charlie? Thanks for subscribing. If that was you, I can't remember. But Laviska, Corey Davis, Devonta Smith, or Edmonds, pick 2, full PPR. That is quite difficult. Edmonds is a start of the week, but let's consider your other options. Devonta Smith, Corey Davis. I think Edmonds is a start for me, but I have to pick between Corey Davis, Devonta Smith, and Laviska Shenault. Corey Davis is playing the matchup Patriots. Is not good.
Well, neither is Laviska going against the Broncos. The secondary is pretty good.
Yeah.
You expect Claypool. I mean, I guess you expect Patrick Surtain on DJ Chark.
I'm going Devonta Smith there, but this feels like a question that we could look back on and think, damn, we got that one wrong. Vishka, Davis, and Smith are in such a similar tier this week, and they have such similar outcomes and floors, which makes this a very difficult question.
Yeah, I think in a question like this, you have to go based on matchup and who has the better matchup. These matchups
I would go
are
Devonta
extremely
Smith,
hard.
Edmonds.
Yeah, all these matchups are extremely hard, and I would go Devonta Smith as well because 49ers, they let Jared Goff throw crazy on him. So.
Jason Verrett out for the year. I don't know if he's out for the year, but he's got a pretty bad injury. So. Yep. So you're agreeing with me, Devonta Smith, Chase Edmonds.
Yeah.
Zeke or Najee for this week? Zeke or Najee? Dang, what league are you in that you can make that decision? Is it PPR? Is it standard? I mean, Najee's a great start against Las Vegas. We're very confident in him.
Both of these guys need to start. Whoever is your other option, unless that's like a CMC, a Dalvin, or an Alvin, you need to take them out of your lineup, or maybe a Nick Chubb, and a Nick Chubb because based on their matchup, you need to start both of these guys because their matchups are good, in my opinion.
How are we not starting both of these guys? Who are your running backs that you're in a position where you can choose between Zeke or Najee?
It says PPR at the moment. Maybe we should come back to that. That's a really good question.
Nick, can you tell us who are you starting over these guys? I don't get it. Like, why are these?
Unless it's just like
the options.
Unless it's like a one running back or something. I don't know.
Just picked up Saints defense. Do you like them this week? Yeah, decent matchup against Sam Darnold. Defense is really hard to predict, but it's a decent matchup. Defense is impossible to predict what's going to happen. I mean, Washington's defense, a lot of people started them this week against Giants, and then Danny Dimes did what he did. Believe that. By the way, Nick, we'll answer your question. Just give us some more information because we want to make sure we answer it properly. Different league, PPR flex, Damien Harris, Debo, or Mooney. Mooney's definitely the one that's on the outs there, so it's between Damien Harris and Debo. Both are in great matchups.
Yeah. I think I'm going Damien Harris here.
Yeah.
It's hard, but like the expectation, like
against the Jets,
it's just so you expect him to go off against the Jets. The Jets didn't have an amazing defense. It doesn't seem like the defense got any better.
Assuming this is PPR, I'm going Debo. Debo looked like the guy last week, bro. In PPR formats, Damien Harris doesn't get much opportunity in PPR formats to catch the ball. Well, just in general.
Yeah, and I completely agree. I think it's just more of his touches and opportunity. I think he could outscore Debo. Debo did have a great game last week. I do believe once Brandon Ayuk is back and healthy, not that the roles are going to reverse, but his target shares are just going.
Here's the deal, though, with the questions on Brandon Ayuk, the injury, like Debo's in a prime position to be the best wide receiver on this team. I think the Eagles don't have a great secondary. So personally, I'm going Debo. I'm pretty confident in that one, but we're going to see it differently.
Yeah.
Let's see. Raphael, what's up? Swift or Miles Sanders out of flex in a PPR? Swift or Miles Sanders? The fact that you're in that position.
I would go Swifty.
Swifty? They're going to have to score points. They're going to be down? Is that what you're thinking?
That's my thought process. Yes, absolutely.
Miles Sanders goes up against the Niners. Yeah, I think it's Swift.
I think both of these guys are good matchups. I just think that Swifty has a higher upside in this. Even though the Packers have at least you expect them to have a good defense, and you expect them to be mad as hell for how they lost last week. Swifty will still score.
Yeah.
Jared Goff and the Lions will still score, just depending on how much, and they're going to be down, so they're going to throw the ball. Tyrell Williams is out. Swifty is going to be lined up out wide. I personally believe.
Yeah. Hey guys, if you don't know what's going on, we're answering start-sit questions for week 2. Drop a question. We're going to answer them in order on YouTube and Twitch. I promise you we are going to get to your question. If you want it answered straight away, drop a super chat and we'll answer it straight away. But we're going to get to everyone's questions in order. Subscribe if you haven't. Follow over there on Twitch. All right, next question.
We have a question on Twitch, unless you want to go.
Yeah, we got it. I can see the order that we got it over here on the stream. So we'll answer his right after Nick's. Pitts or Fant, full PPR. I'm going. Oh, that's tough.
Pitts or Fant.
These are both great starts this week, bro. Pitts or Fant. Fant's against Jacksonville. Pitts is against Tampa Bay. That is tough. They're both very, very good starts.
I'm going. I will go Noah Fant. Bucks have a better defense.
But they definitely allowed points to the tight end position. Last week, it was just there was 2 tight ends that were involved.
Right. And Broncos, the Jags against Broncos versus Jags. Jerry Jeudy's out. You expect Noah Fant to have a lot more of opportunity.
This is very difficult. Very difficult.
Once again, I'm playing more secure in this scenario. I think Noah Fant is the guy that I know he can at least get me 8 to 12 points, where we only saw one game from Kyle Pitts, and he got us, 7 to 8 points? So
yeah, he got plenty of targets.
Yeah, he definitely did.
I'm going Fant, but I hate it. Like, I want to start. Okay. Like, from a fan perspective, you want to start Kyle Pitts and watch the game.
Absolutely.
That's tough. I think I'm going Noah Fant. That really sucks, bro. That is such a hard position to be in because it could literally be any of those guys this week. I think we have to go Fant, though, with Jeudy out.
I agree.
Start AB or Ridley this week. Start Ridley. Ridley.
That's easy.
Antonio Brown is boom or bust still, in our opinion. He could have another great week this week, and people will be like, oh, he's a start, and then he could disappoint you in week 3, but you start Ridley. Kyle said AB or T. Higgins at flex full point. AB or T. Higgins. Okay, so let's look at T's matchup. 1 second.
T's playing the Bears.
That's rough.
Sheesh, man, that's tough. This is tough. Once again, I mean, I'm not a huge believer in T. Higgins. He did find the end zone, but I believe he didn't.
T. Higgins.
If he didn't find the end zone, I don't think he would have had as an amazing game as he's gotten or he had last week.
No, so hold on.
AB.
So there's a storyline there that a lot of people are not aware of. So T. Higgins in the first quarter, second quarter was well leading this team in targets and receptions, but then he was carted off the field and he got an IV because something was going on. I think it was exhaustion or I don't know what it was, but his body needed to get an IV for him to recover his ability to play.
Right.
So he was actually dominating. And anyway, he still had a good game. I think because of the matchups, you have to go AB, unfortunately.
Yeah. I think you have to lean AB. It sucks. I don't like it. I think any other day, we probably would have said T. Higgins, but obviously week 1 happened and AB went crazy.
Yeah.
I guess you have to start him.
We're going to answer your question over there on Twitch just right after this question, okay? I have you in order. James Zoo, should I be worried about Gibson, Ridley, or Pitts? I'm not worried about Ridley or Pitts. I'm not worried about Gibson either. I'm not worried about any of these guys. I think it's, early season overreactions. In my opinion, Gibson was still very effective. It sucks that he wasn't involved in, those third downs on the goal line, but I'm not worried about Gibson. I think he's going to have better opportunities to score the ball. I'm not worried about him personally.
For me, I'm not worried about anyone else besides Gibson. Just to be completely honest, Gibson is a guy that I own in multiple leagues. He's a guy that I took in some leagues. I took him in the first. Some leagues I took him in the second. And I expected him to get at least my minimum base for Antonio Gibson, at least for as an RB1 or 2, is at least 15 points. And he hasn't performed that so far.
But he's been a very good player. He has been one of the best players on the field for them.
I think he's been the best player.
It's just not turned into fantasy points.
And I think that's what's scary.
If you trade away Gibson right now, I think you're going to regret it. That's just my opinion.
I'm not saying you should trade away. I'm just telling you that I have him and I'm worried. And I'm on the fence. Like, shit, if he doesn't get me at least 15 points next week, then I was like, okay, shit, this is a really big deal for me. And I need to consider trading away Gibson.
Yeah, I don't think you should. I think it would be an overaction to trade him, but we see that with that.
Next week? Even next week?
It depends on what happens next week, and it depends on the matchup, and it depends on the matchups that are coming up next. But I still think that Gibson's a great option in fantasy. Yes, he has disappointed you, but he has been very effective. He's been a great football player. It's just not converted into fantasy stardom yet this year, okay?
Okay.
Let's go to Twitch real quick. Come Here Now Beach 89 says, who start at flex, Tyson, Jamar Chase, or Robbie Anderson? I probably would lean Jamar Chase there. Do you have
Jamar
any
Chase against the Bears there, yeah. Look, Jamar Chase looks like he has a great connection, obviously, with Joe Burrow. All that preseason drops looks like he really switched it up somehow.
Yeah.
So why not? Why not start Jamar Chase?
Yeah. Yeah, that is tough between Jamar and Tyson, but I'm assuming this is PPR, and if it's PPR, I would probably lean Jamar for the upside in the receptions. All right, Nick, we got a little bit more information. He said Eckler and Dalvin, 6-team league. Eckler and Dalvin are my other RBs. I fleeced a guy in a trade for Najee, so it's a 6-team league. Okay, it's a 6-team league.
That makes sense.
Zeke or Najee. That just feels so disgusting that I'm saying that you start Najee and you sit Zeke, but I think that's what you do in this matchup against the Raiders. This is so gross.
I would say take whoever's on your flex and start all 3 running backs. I don't know who's in your flex position, but I will start Najee, Zeke, and Eckler.
A lot of people don't have 4 flexes though, or 2 flexes. A lot of people only have 1. So he's probably making this decision because he has 1 flex spot available.
So I think in a PPR scenario, you start Eckler, you start Dalvin, and then you probably I don't like it, but the matchup base is great. You start Najee with the expectation against the Raiders for sure. I agree.
Honestly, we're probably going to get that wrong because both of those guys are must starts, and they both have an opportunity for great points.
You need to be
hopefully
starting.
That helps. Excuse me. Gator fan says, with figuring out who to put in the flex and PPR, how do you balance the volume a running back will get with the catches that the wide receivers will get? I think it all depends on the matchup. What's the matchup? What have we seen from last week? Henderson, for example, doesn't have a great matchup this week, but if someone had hey, do I start Henderson or a Deontay Johnson? It's like, well, Deontay Johnson's matchup is better. We expect him to get more, a good amount of receptions, and in PPR formats that presents a safer floor. So that's kind of how we look at it. But if it's a wide receiver that, isn't as dominant on their team in target shares, then maybe we look at the running back because of the opportunity. So it's very situational. You believe that. If you guys don't know what's going on, we're answering start-sit questions for week 2. We're answering them in order.
Right, baby.
Subscribe if you haven't. Drop a like if you haven't. Lots of likes on this. Appreciate the love. And we're going to answer your questions in order. Super chats will get answered straight away. What's the next cue we got, Badike?
Charlie, thanks for answering the last question. I got one more. Pick 2, full PPR, AB, Deontay Johnson, or Chase Edmonds. Need a big game because Gibson got unlucky. And this is a good example of like going with the high upside. I think kind of what Zach was talking about.
Yeah.
Gibson didn't do great. The expectation AB could be a boom or bust. Why not start AB? And we think Chase Edmonds a must start, so maybe Chase Edmonds and AB.
Tough. Because Deontay's matchup is so good.
Has a beautiful matchup as well, so it's really tough. I don't think it feels like it's not a wrong answer because Deontay, you expect him to.
I think you have to go both wide receivers here.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
You want to go both wide receivers? Okay.
Yeah, I think you have to. Hey, thanks for the subscribe, Danny Thomas. Big love.
Really appreciate you, man.
I think you have to go both wide receivers here because you already know from Thursday night that Gibson underperformed. You need the upside in a PPR league, so I'm going both wide receivers there in a PPR league. John B.
I see it.
Shout out to Outer Banks. John B. Anybody watch Outer Banks? Oh, bro, season 1 unreal. Season 2, I was just fucking frustrated every episode. I'm like, this is so unrealistic. Of course it is. It's TV. What's up, John B? Which 2 flex players do you start full PPR? Fournette, Myers, Robinson, Gronk, Singletary. Okay, so let's do process of elimination. Full PPR. So let's get Singletary out of there. Jacoby Myers is there. I'm assuming that's James Robinson. Can I be honest with you? I think we're going Jacoby and Leonard Fournette.
Really? I would say I don't like it. I like Myers, but I would probably say Myers and Gronk. I feel like
Gronk is more boom bust than anyone on that team.
Maybe. I like the high upside with Gronk here. And Fournette, I think the roles is going to be different. I think that was 1 week. I'm not excited to start a James Robinson, not James Robinson.
This feels like a very
Ronald
good
Jones.
week to start Leonard Fournette, though, like in this matchup.
It does, but at the same time, it feels very good to start.
So here's the issue with these players, right?
Jones.
I think we can both agree on Jacoby Myers, but between Fournette, Gronk, these are both boom bust players. Let's be honest in this offense. It's a great offense, but there's so many players. There's bound to be boom busts.
I completely agree. Maybe the answer should be James Robinson.
Nah, I can't start Robinson. I think Jacoby, and then you have to choose between Fournette and Gronk. I think I'm going to go Fournette, but it could bite you in the ass. I would go Fournette, Jacoby. That's a really tough one.
Okay.
You would go Fournette and
Gronk.
Okay.
I don't like it. Sorry, I would go Jacoby and Gronk. I really don't like the Gronk pick, but Jacoby Myers I'm 100% in on. James, start Pitt or Tyler Higbee. Kyle Pitts or Tyler Higbee. Once again, Kyle Pitts has a great matchup, so I think you start him. But Higbee, obviously, something special is happening over there in LA with him and Matthew Stafford.
I'm going Kyle Pitts, though, personally.
Max, Jonathan Taylor, Miles Sanders. You always start Jonathan Taylor, no matter what. I understand it's the Rams defense. You start your stars.
Yeah, that's tough. That is tough, though. I understand the question, Max.
Yeah, 100%.
I definitely understand 100%. The question. Jonathan Taylor going up against the Rams, but the workload was so good last week, and it looked like they were playing the offense through both of those running backs. So I think you have to go Jonathan Taylor. Yeah. Dante, what's up? Standard flex. Julio, Brandon Cooks, Chase Edmonds, Callaway, or Tyson Williams. You can only choose one. That's pretty tough. I would go Julio Jones. Ooh, but Chase Edmonds is there.
I'm still going Julio in that perspective.
Yeah,
I think Chase will catch the ball. Chase will catch the ball more out of the backfield than actually.
Yeah, I think
actually run it.
Julio with the matchup. Oh, that's tough, man. That's a tough one. But yeah, I think Callaway is a sit and watch for me. Cooks, I think had a great week 1, but it's not a guy I want to rely on, especially in that matchup. Yeah, I think it has to be Julio. And close your eyes when you're watching this week. Just close your eyes. Just don't even watch that game. What's up?
Nathaniel.
What's the cue?
We haven't seen you on the stream. What's good, brother? Miles Gaskin or Elijah Mitchell or Chase Edmonds. Sorry. So Chase Edmonds, Miles Gaskin or Elijah Mitchell.
Chase Edmonds, Miles Gaskin, Elijah Mitchell. That's tough, man, because Gaskin's matchup is not very good. That is actually really tough. I think I'm going Chase Edmonds. Oh,
let me just see something really fast.
There's a high chance we get this one wrong because all 3 of these running backs are going to be given similar opportunities, and they're all in relatively difficult matchups. I think I'm going Chase Edmonds.
I'll be honest with you. I think I'm going to go Miles here. I just think he has the better opportunity, even though it is a tougher matchup, quote unquote, against the Patriots defense. I just think he understands it. The gameplay with these 2 teams going against each other every single year. This Miami, like the Patriots aren't like it's not the Patriots with Tom Brady where like you need to sit every single person that's going against the Patriots. Yeah. It's different now. I think Miles Gaskin does have the better opportunity. I see him catching the ball a lot. I see him finding the end zone. I think Chase can find the end zone as well, but I think Miles has the higher upside coming into this week.
I see the questions over there on Twitch from Jars and Harry. We're going to get to you in 1 second. We're just answering them in order. So the next question would be from Paulie J. Is Julio, Gaskin, and Drake for Zeke a trade that should get vetoed? Julio, Gaskin, and Drake for Zeke. No, I don't think it should get vetoed. Obviously someone's trading in depth for a star, but Julio, Gaskin both had not amazing week 1s. I don't think that should be vetoed. I think the only way you do veto is if it actually, like, if there's collusion or it actually impacts the league deeply. So no, I don't think you do that or veto that. Damien Harris or Corey Davis as a flex. I think I'm going Damien Harris in the matchup. Yep.
I'm going Damian as well.
All right, Jars, we're up to your question here on Twitch. Jamar Chase, Callaway, or Tyson Williams? I think I'm going Jamar Chase there. It's close, but I'm assuming it's PPR, so I would lean Jamar Chase.
I'm going Jamar Chase as well. I don't like it. I don't like any of these 3 guys. I'm not excited about it. I think Jamar Chase has a higher upside.
I like it. All right. Gator fan says, in my Dynasty League full PPR, I'm starting Eckler and Henry at running back. Would you start Hunt over Taylor based off of matchups? No, I wouldn't.
No.
I get it, but I think I'm still going to start Jonathan Taylor.
I agree.
But I get the thought process. Got you, John B. Thanks for joining. What's up, Golf
worries.
Perk? All right, we're up to your question, Harry, over here on Twitch. The question is Elijah Mitchell, Hines, Robinson, and Singletary. Pick 2. This is actually pretty easy for me. I'm going Elijah Mitchell and Nyheim Hines, assuming it's a PPR league. I know that's crazy, but I think I haven't lost hope in James Robinson. I've lost hope in Urban Meyer doing what makes sense. Like, anyone in their right mind is telling you that James Robinson should be starting. Like, even if I told my wife, hey, babe, this is what this guy named James Robinson did last year. This is what this guy Carlos Hyde has done for the last 3 years. Do you know what I mean? Like, even if I broke it down to someone who doesn't know football, they would be like, oh, yeah, of course, like, James Robinson should be getting a bunch of touches. I've lost all hope in Urban Meyer doing anything that makes sense. So I don't feel confident starting James Robinson, and the matchup isn't good. So I think I would go Nyheim Hines in a PPR league over James Robinson. Do you agree?
I'm definitely going. The one guy we do agree on is Nyheim Hines.
Okay.
I don't like the Elijah Mitchell one. I don't like James Robinson either. James Robinson does have the tougher matchup. No, I'm saying James Robinson does have the tougher matchup.
I'm not starting Elijah. I know you don't believe in Elijah Mitchell, but this is too far.
I'm leaning your way here. You didn't let me finish my sentence. I said I think James Robinson does have the tougher matchup. I'm going to start Elijah Mitchell. I don't like it.
All right.
I hate it. James Robinson, I think James Robinson does turn around. Doesn't mean you should still start him. I don't like it at all. I don't like Elijah Mitchell, but I think it's Nyheim Hines, Elijah Mitchell for sure.
I'm a fan of Mitchell going forward, so yeah, I'm cool with this. By the way, Singletary, if you guys are looking at Singletary, he's a great stash right now. Let's see what happens in that backfield.
Yeah, let's see.
All right, Nathaniel, this is the next question we have over here. What's up, Nathaniel? Start 3. Metcalf, Lockett, Allen Robinson, and Mike Williams. This is actually pretty easy, I think.
Yeah.
I think I'm sitting Mike Williams.
Absolutely. You have to start your other guys.
Start your stars is what we say.
Mm-hmm.
Fantasy Minds, what's
up?
Fantasy
Minds.
Says, yo, what's up, man? Welcome to the stream. We haven't had you here before. Paulie J says, would you trade Robert Woods for Lockett if you have Kupp on your team as well? No.
Wow.
I would rather have Robert Woods in PPR.
I would try to definitely shop Robert Woods and see if you can get someone other than Lockett, though.
I would shop Robert Woods for sure. But I'm not going to trade Woods in PPR formats for Lockett. I still think Lockett's going to have weeks that disappoint you.
It's just your classic Tyler Lockett week.
I
think
you can get more for Robert Woods than Tyler Lockett. Do you agree? Like, there should be more value out there than a Tyler Lockett.
Absolutely. I agree.
Okay, because you were like...
I was thinking, and then I was like, wait, what did both of these guys do? And then I was like, oh, okay, yes.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably even look at, like, someone would be interested, like Allen Robinson. I know it sounds crazy, but these are trades you could look at. Allen Robinson, Chris Godwin. Those are other guys I might be looking at instead. Fantasy Mind says, I have a feelings everyone should start Russell Wilson. Yes.
Love that. Love the feeling.
Love the feeling. Russell Wilson. I don't think there's a week you should not start Russell Wilson, but we agree. You should definitely start him.
Start Russell Wilson.
We're definitely in agreement there, bro. And DK Metcalf, agreed. Definitely you should be starting DK Metcalf. I think you should start those guys every week, to be honest. No name. I like your name, brother. Says, half PPR, would you trade away Kittle and Devonta Smith / Chase, whichever is best to give away? I have T. Plus Latavius Murray. I don't know why he hasn't dropped JK, but his running backs are weak. For Hawkinson and Ridley. That is one hell of a question.
Okay, let me read that to myself.
He said, damn, okay, that's long. Let me cut that paragraph down. He put a simpler version down below. Half PPR,
okay,
Kittle
awesome.
Plus Devonta Smith / Chase and Latavius
he still
Murray
has Higgins.
For Hawkinson and Ridley.
He needs running backs.
No, I don't think I would do that. I love Ridley. I still believe in Ridley, but I still prefer Kittle over Hawkinson.
Yeah, Kittle and Devonta Smith look like he has something special going on.
I think you can get more value. Would I do that? I don't think I would.
Kittle plus Devonta Smith, Devonta Smith or Jamar Chase. It's Devonta Smith or Jamar Chase.
Yeah, I know. So basically you're giving up Kittle, Devonta Smith, and Latavius Murray. I don't think I would do it because of the Kittle. But Hawkinson looks great, and he looks like a vital part of that offense.
I think, like, if you need running backs, why are you?
He needs running backs, not he. The guy he's trading to needs running backs.
He needs running backs. Okay,
not
so he
the
wants
guy who's receiving.
So you want to trade Latavius Murray. You want to trade Latavius Murray and kind of bait him into that. It seems like
it feels early to give up on Kittle.
I think you can actually get more than if you. I mean, Hawkinson. Maybe get somebody small. Maybe get like a Waddle if there's a Waddle just for shits and gigs.
No, he
maybe.
doesn't need a Waddle at this point. He has Devonta Smith and Jamar Chase.
But that's who he's trading.
That's who he's trading away.
Yeah, he's gonna trade one of those guys.
I know.
He's gonna trade Devonta Smith or Chase.
I think in this scenario, I have to hold. I'm not giving up on Kittle yet.
Right, I agree. I do like the side of what he has already. I just think if you're going to trade Kittle with Devonta Smith, Chase, with Devonta Smith or Chase, I think plus Latavius, I think you can get a little bit more because he's desperate need of that running back.
Yeah.
Try to squeeze out a little bit more from him. See what
definitely.
happens.
I mean, that's what you have to do in trades when people are desperate. Just make sure it's an even trade. Don't screw someone, but try and get the most value you can. I would hold.
Mm-hmm.
Fantasy Mind says must start week 2, Zeke running back and Chris Carson. Yeah, I think you got to start those guys every week.
Mm-hmm.
Tommy says, so I know you said start Mitchell, but would you rather have McColl or Rager?
I don't want
as
either.
As far as like on my team,
McColl. I'll probably take McColl because he has Mahomes. I don't believe in Rager.
Yeah,
I don't. I mean, he scored touchdowns. He got some good fantasy points last week. Yeah, I don't like it.
Let's be honest. Rager looked good last week, and if one of these players is going to be a bigger part of their offense, will it be McCole Hardman? Like on a consistent basis, will it be McCole Hardman or Jalen Rager?
Boomer bust. McCole Hardman is a boomer bust guy, so maybe Rager's.
I think Rager has
an opportunity,
the better chance to produce consistent fantasy weeks. It's not great between both of those guys, so
yeah, that I agree. I don't like it, but
I would probably have to choose Rager.
Just don't like it.
Dak Prescott or Justin Herbert this week? I think it has to be Dak.
Really, or Justin Herbert? Justin Herbert's going against that Cowboys defense.
Yeah, I still think I would go Dak. I think if we look at these defenses, I think the Chargers have a better defense. But I think the Cowboys have a better offense.
Okay.
It's close. And the fact that you're in that position,
definitely close.
I think if it's a one quarterback league, I'm probably looking to trade one of those guys and upgrade at a different position because I don't want to have to deal with that question every week. Where I'm like, oh, which one of these guys do I start? I think I would go Dak though.
It's definitely close. I'm definitely going Dak. I just wanted to bring in that thought process because Dak probably does have to score more, but Justin Herbert is you already know he's gonna score a lot.
Yeah.
Sorry, maybe the word more. Dak Prescott has to score to keep his team, but Justin Herbert is gonna feel like he's always gonna have the opportunity to score.
Yeah. Where
Dak can get stopped. So I guess that's the difference.
Yeah, that's a tough one, but Dak looked great, man. He looked really good last week. I would go Dak. That's tough. Okay. Again, like if we can offer really any advice on that, because I think you could start either of those and be fine. But if we can offer any real advice on that question, it's trade one of those guys and upgrade somewhere else. James Zoo says pick 3 to start. Ridley, Hopkins, CD, AB Chase. This is so easy.
Really, yeah. That's really Hopkins and CD. You're starting.
Yeah,
you have to. Yeah. Really Hopkins, Chase.
Yeah, AB will have a good week probably, but he is still boom or bust in our minds. Chase is going against a great defense, and what do we always say, Badaki?
Start your stars.
That's right.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Start your stars.
Fantasy minds, Devonte Williams or Chase Edmonds. Chase Edmonds, I think for me, he's a start of the week. I think you go Chase Edmonds. I know you love Devonte Williams. I get it. It's a great matchup against the Jags there. I actually do believe he finds the end zone in this game. I still think Chase does have the opportunity. He is our starter of the week, and I really like the matchup.
It's too early to start Javonte just yet. It's a great matchup. Honestly, I'm actually okay starting. I would start Javonte over James Robinson, for example, this week if I had Javonte.
Hey, Cameron. Thank you so much for the donation, brother. I really appreciate you. Found y'all.
Thanks so much.
Subs.
He wants to
really thank you so much.
Thanks, Cameron. Really appreciate that. Just found y'all and subbed. Big love, bro. We I think we started about a year ago, and just been actually going hard on YouTube for probably the last 3 to 4 months. So been building a nice community. By the way, guys, if you haven't done so yet, I would advise you to join our Discord, which you can find in the description and the about section. Thank you so much for the donation, Cameron. You don't know how much that means. But yes, I would agree, just to wrap that question up, Chase Edmonds slightly leaning towards him in PPR formats.
Slightly leaning toward Chase Edmonds, yeah.
No Name says, if it's tough, maybe I keep my guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is one. Can I be honest with you, No Name? This is one that you could look back on and really regret. Like Hawkinson, if we're just going off of week 1, Hawkinson looks like a top 3 tight end. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
So this is a very, very tough question. You know, I think you could easily look back on this and regret it, but I personally cannot give up on Kittle just yet. So I would wait, but it is tough, man. And I'm sorry there's not a clear answer for you, but I hope you get where we're coming from. We got a question over on Twitch, Badaki.
Okay,
you see that one?
Let's go to Twitch here. Yeah, Rumham22. What are your thoughts on Kenneth Gainwell? He looked good last week, and it feels like Sanders is always banged up. Is this guy a possible RB1 if Sanders gets hurt or is limited?
Yes.
Look,
Yes.
I think we both.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Yes for Zach. I think we both love Kenneth Gainwell. He does have the opportunity. He can obviously catch the ball in the backfield. He also found the end zone last week. If Miles Sanders does get hurt, you have Kenneth Gainwell, and you can start him in a flex at best for me. At the very moment. So
I would start him as an RB2.
Oh, for me, flex at best until I completely understand what that role looks like. I see the RB2 upside. I see the RB1 upside. It's exciting. For me, I would like to see a little bit more.
Well, we're talking in a hypothetical world, but let's say this for right now. Kenneth Gainwell is a guy I want on every team. I want him as my RB4 on every single team. I
believe he'll be the Nyheim Hines, J.D. McKissic of this year.
Maybe, yeah, that could definitely.
Like last year, Nyheim Hines, if you picked him up, he won leagues. Same thing with J.D. McKissic. He
definitely won leagues. Hines was boom bust every week, but you're right about J.D. McKissic. J.D. McKissic in a league that we have with our friends, a money league.
I lost to J.D. McKissic.
You lost the championship because of J.D. McKissic. Anyway, that's actually funny to look back on now. That's hilarious. Let's just stop talking about J.D. McKissic. Please, Ron, please. Antonio Gibson played wide receiver. Everyone in fantasy knows this. Why don't you know it? We know more than you, Ron. We know more. Figure it out.
I'm scared, bro. I'm scared. I'm just hesitant on Gibson. I love Gibson. I think he has top 5 upside. I just don't think that Ron wants to give him that opportunity.
We'll see.
That's what it feels. That's what it feels like right now. I'm not saying that.
Week 1, there was no J.D. McKissic. Week 2, there was. So we have to figure out if that was just the game plan. I'm not panicking.
100%. 100%.
Cameron said PPR flex, Elijah Mitchell, Jamar Chase, Devonta Smith, or Jamal Williams. Ooh, this is one of those questions that's very tough and feels like a trap for us to answer because a lot of these guys are in similar situations. Do you know what I mean? Like Elijah Mitchell, Jamar Chase, Devonta Smith, Jamal Williams. Feels like any of these guys could be the right answer. Let's go by process of elimination. Chase?
I'm not starting Jamal Williams.
Okay,
we can go Chase. We can start from the top. You say your piece on Chase. Sorry.
I don't want to start him against that defense with the options given by Cameron.
Okay. I think Chase is still in the mix for me at the moment. Let's just continue. Jamal Williams. What do you think?
I feel if the question was Jamar Chase or Jamal Williams, I would probably feel more comfortable about Jamal Williams, to be honest, this week. But I'm happy to eliminate both of them and decide between Elijah Mitchell and Devonta Smith.
Right.
If that's where you're deciding between. And I know that you're not going to say Elijah Mitchell because you.
That's where I'm deciding between. It's not that I hate the guy. I don't hate him. I said he can start once.
I know. It's a joke. It's a joke.
It's just freaking too much. I think I'm going Devonta Smith here.
I think I'm also going to go Devonta Smith. But like I said, Cameron, I'm sorry there's not a clear answer. Sometimes there are questions that we get where we're like, oh, man, this could look bad looking back. And the reality is all four of these guys are in very similar opportunities and situations.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going Devonta Smith. I'm sorry we don't feel amazing about it, but that's who we're going. Fantasy Mind says, would you start Kenyan Drake since Josh Jacobs is out? Jacobs was our sit of the week. This is before he was announced out. That doesn't change now with Kenyan Drake. We would still sit Kenyan Drake. This defense is legit, so I think there's better options out there.
I completely agree there.
Yeah.
Tom and Zach, I want to hope you're right on this. I'm assuming he's talking about Elijah Mitchell.
I hope I'm right too, man. Anything's possible, but I would, with the information given, that's the move I would make.
Yeah. Paulie J, who wins this trade? Darren Waller, Julio, Gaskin, Tannehill, and Drake for Justin Herbert, Jonathan Taylor, Kyle Pitts, and Sutton. I think the Darren Waller, Julio side wins this trade.
It's actually not. Ooh, Jonathan Taylor,
but like you get Sutton. I mean, I like Sutton, but not right now. Jonathan Taylor, you know how I feel about him.
Massive downgrade at tight end.
Yeah, I think I'd rather keep tight end.
I think you're right. That is the deciding factor. How important Darren Waller is to your lineup cannot be understated. So. But Pitts could break out still. I think as of right now, I think Darren Waller side wins, but it's close.
Fantasy Mind. So this one's Keenan Allen or Stephon Diggs. This is a tough one.
That is tough.
I think both of these guys have great matchup. Keenan Allen going against the Cowboys and Diggs against Miami.
You got to start Diggs.
You look, if you can, you start both, but you have to start Diggs. He is.
Oh, do you though?
Probably drafted him. You probably drafted him as your wide receiver one. Keenan Allen, maybe your wide receiver one as well.
How are you not starting both of them? How are you not starting both of them?
That's the thing. I think you have. I think for me, you start Stephon Diggs. Keenan Allen has a better matchup. You expect Diggs to have the better game with Josh Allen. Stephon Diggs has no one to compete with, where Keenan Allen has Austin Eckler, Mike Williams. It's not. Those guys aren't massive. Sorry. Austin Eckler is massive. Mike Williams not massive. Jared Cook's not massive. But I think Justin Herbert would share the ball a little bit more.
You have to start both. It feels like Allen could be the better play this week, but how do you sit Stephon Diggs? You can't do that. You can't sit him.
I agree.
I have to go Diggs, but it feels like a trap. James says, who has the better side of the trade? Carson, Godwin, Michael Thomas, Tannehill, or Hopkins and Stafford? Carson.
I think or Hopkins and Stafford. If you know us, I don't think Michael Thomas is going to come back or be fantasy relevant enough to trade for him.
I feel different about that now.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Just because of everything that's happening?
Just because of everything that's happening. And honestly, he's someone I would like on my bench. I'm going to go the side of Carson, Godwin, Michael Thomas, and Tannehill if you need help at running back. Because Carson is, bro, like, getting Carson, that's great. So,
yeah, and I agree. I agree on the side on the running back. I just don't want Michael Thomas. Take away Michael Thomas. Give me somebody else. Give me Jacoby Myers. Give me a Corey Davis. Give me some. I understand Michael Thomas' upside. I'd rather have somebody on my bench knowing that, you know what, just in case something happens.
In this situation, though, having Michael Thomas, you know, I'm comfortable with it as like a late season. Maybe he wins you a championship because that's a possibility.
Yeah. For me, it just feels like a throwaway piece. It's a Michael Thomas is the name. Bro, he's probably telling you, bro, when Michael Thomas comes back, he can be a great wide receiver for your team, which is right. We just don't know when that is. The expectation is that it is 8 weeks.
All signs point to his recovery ahead of schedule, which is good to see. I'm choosing the side of. Have you picked a side? I'm choosing the side of Carson Godwin.
I'm choosing the side of Hopkins and Stafford.
Okay.
I think there's so much more to Michael Thomas's stuff. Does he have connection with Jameis Winston? What's the chemistry like?
Yeah.
How is he going to feel when he first comes back onto the field?
Yeah.
Is he going to be,
I agree.
so many things.
There is still reasons to be skeptical of Michael Thomas, but there's a nice little jewel on your bench, and you can put him in your IR spot. That's what's so awesome. You can just leave him in your IR and still play the field in waivers. So, man, the upgrade at running back is big there for me. So I would take that side.
I would say switches for somebody that can give you points right now. Like I said, a Corey Davis, a Jacoby Myers, a guys around that area. Think of those guys. I can't really think of. I don't have a list of names in front of me, but think of those guys. I like those guys rather than a Michael Thomas.
Yeah.
Kyle, RB2, Chase Edmonds, Mike Davis, or Elijah Mitchell. I'm doing Chase. I know you probably say Elijah Mitchell.
Mike Davis was our sit of the week. So between Chase and Elijah Mitchell, I think I would go Chase Edmonds as well. It's very close, but I would go Chase Edmonds.
Cameron, I think we answered that question. PPR, Jamar Chase, Jamal Williams, Devonta Smith, or Elijah Mitchell. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I think he might have. So just anyone who's asked the question, we just go through them from top to bottom on YouTube and Twitch. If you drop a super chat, we'll answer it straight away, but we just go through them one by one. James Zoo says, you guys have helped me so much as a newbie. Thank you.
Huge love, man.
Glad to hear that. That's actually really, really cool to hear. Yeah. I'm assuming you're a newbie to fantasy is what you're saying. And we have a lot of people like that on the channel and a lot of people, just all different types. So appreciate that. Tommy, your boy Bricks Bockley, friend of the show. My guy. Tim Patrick and Corey Davis. That's tough, bro. I think you have to go Corey.
You have to go Corey Davis. You have to.
Patrick's got great upside, but you have to wait and see, in my opinion.
I agree. Ed Mack the track. I don't know why I said that. Trade Fant and Deontay Johnson to get Waller, full PPR, loaded at every position except tight end. Absolutely.
If you're loaded,
why not?
My first question was going to be, what do your wide receivers look like? Because
but if you're continue. I think if you're confident in your team, why not?
Yeah, if you got enough room at wide receiver and you're like, I feel great about my wide receivers and, I'm losing Deontay, then that's definitely something I would do. Next
Cameron,
question.
Thanks. Yeah, I guess it's a good thing I have a good breakout guy on my bench, just making it difficult.
Yeah.
LOL. Not all good, man. It's all good.
Yeah, I definitely feel that. Tommy said, I'm so nervous, man. I want it to be right. Tommy, I want it to be right for you as well. The beautiful thing about fantasy football, guys, is we can make the best educated guesses possible every week.
Absolutely.
But they still play the game. And
we're just giving you what we do. What we would do every single week. Who else is here?
Appreciate
Tommy,
you,
I'm so nervous, man. I just really want to be right. Yeah, well, we read that again. Paulie, yeah. Fantasy Minds, Mike Evans or Deontay Johnson. Deontay Johnson has a great matchup. One. Fantasy Minds coming in with these freaking mind bogglers. Both of these guys feel like must starts because of their matchups. Okay.
Yeah.
You have to start both of these guys. I would probably go Mike Evans.
Yeah.
If I had to choose one, I have to go Mike Evans.
Here's how I would play this.
Mm-hmm.
I know this sounds crazy, but I think that Deontay Johnson is the safer play.
Okay.
But I think Evans has the higher upside. So if you're in a position where you need a high upside risky play because you need to win this week and the other guy's team's amazing and you're down, I would go Mike Evans. But if you need the safer play, I think I would go Deontay.
Okay. James Martin, Brandon Cooks, T. Higgins, Allen Robinson, and Roberto Woods, PPR start.
This is
3.
Easy. This is easy.
Really easy.
I'm not starting Cooks.
You're not starting Brandon
out of those three.
Yeah, you're not starting Brandon Cooks.
But
that's really easy
I
for
think
us.
we got to stop laughing at it, though, to be honest, because he looked good.
He looked good. No, you're absolutely right. He looked good. What looked bad was a Jaguars defense.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Can Tyrod Taylor do that against the Browns? You're kidding me.
Probably not, right? I mean, anything's possible, but here's the deal. I think that was also a week 1 overreaction, in my opinion, was Houston Texans in general. If you went out on the waiver wire and you picked up Mark Ingram, I think you're going to be disappointed. If you drafted Brandon Cooks, right now you're feeling great, but I don't think that is going to bring season-long success. Maybe this week as well, but I don't think season-long it will bring you success.
In my opinion, I would be trading Brandon Cooks for, higher value. I mean, who are you trading? I think of Jacoby Myers, Corey Davis.
No way. I think I would rather. It's close. I would rather have Brandon Cooks, I think, than Jacoby.
Oh, really? I'm not. Yeah. For me, I would just rather have that. I don't think the Texans are going to be consistent.
I'm trying to move Brandon Cooks for T. Higgins. I'm trying to move him for
week 1 or technically week 2.
Mike Evans. These are trades I could see people making.
Okay. Marty, I think that's the next question. Marty, can start 2 of these guys: Myles Gaskin, Cortland Sutton, Mike Williams, T. Higgins.
I think
for
Gaskin
sure.
And Mike Williams.
I agree.
Yeah, that's actually. Williams, I feel good about that one.
Yeah. Jacob Stevens, Debo for Cortland Sutton, yes or no? Yes. I
want Debo.
I want Debo, exactly. If you're on the Debo side and trading away Cortland Sutton, yes, go grab Debo. Yeah. That's what I say.
Debo 100%. All love, thanks for saying my full Grovey.
Govey, like government. Like his government name.
What's that mean?
You know how people say, my name, they call him, I don't know, like
LeBron James.
You know how people call me Dacky? You know how people call me Dacky and like, oh no, my full government name is Daniel Stephen Kublai Gotet.
Okay.
Right, because
we called him Tommy your boy Bricks Bockley.
Yeah.
Friend of the show. I like it.
Friend of the show.
Tim Money, what's up on Twitch, bro? Start 2, Juju, Ronald Jones, Tyson Williams, or Devonte. Thank you for the follow, Toasty Ways.
What's happening, man?
Start 2, PPR. Please help.
Start 2, Juju, Rojo. Look, for me, my start of the week, bro. It is rough for me. I'll tell you my piece. My star of the week this week is Ronald Jones.
I can't trust him,
if you want, go watch that video. It's on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/fantasylandfootball. Start of the week 2 must start.
They're literally on our YouTube page right now.
Well, not this question. Not.
You're right. Sorry, this is Twitch.
On Twitch.
My bad.
So watch that video. I believe Ronald Jones is gonna have a better week. He fumbled the ball once. They sat him. I think he would just have a better week this week.
Here's what I can agree on. I agree that he's going to have a better week, but that doesn't mean that I want to trust him in fantasy yet. I personally cannot trust him in fantasy at this point. So Ronald Jones would not be someone that I'm looking to start. I agree he could have a better week, but this week is not the week that I'm going to say I'm all in and I want to bet my fantasy week on Ronald Jones.
Okay.
I personally would, and you're probably not going to agree, but I personally would go Juju and Devonta Williams. I think Devonta Williams has a great chance to get into the end zone this week against a very bad defense, and I like the matchup for Juju against the Raiders. So between those options, especially because it's PPR, I'm not going to trust Ronald Jones yet. I agree he's going to be much better this year, but I'm not ready to start him and rely on him for my success in fantasy right now.
Yeah.
And Tyson Williams, I like, but I think it's going to be more of a running back by committee. So I feel better about Javonte's role and his matchup. So I'm going Devonta and Juju.
For me, I feel better about Ronald Jones. So I'm going Ronald Jones and actually Juju. I think Juju finds the end zone. I think Devonta Williams finds the end zone as well. Juju just has a better matchup, in my personal opinion, against the Raiders.
Okay.
So Juju and Rojo for me coming into week 2.
Mark Ferretti Said you guys are awesome and should have far more subscribers and viewers. Thank you for the love, Mark. Big love.
I appreciate you, brother. Really appreciate you.
We answered Jacob's question. So James Martin says Brandon Cooks and Kareem Hunt for a RB1 trade. Yeah. I'd be open to a trade like that if you're trying to do a 2-for-1.
Maybe a Zeke action. Absolutely. Go for it. See what happens. Sell Brandon Cooks high, like I said.
Toasty, you want to answer Toasty's question?
Toasty.
Yeah, over on Twitch.
Yeah, start or sit for my flex, Mike Evans or DJ Moore. Hey. Oh, man. I'm going Mike Evans.
Yeah, that's tough. Mike Evans, DJ Moore. I agree. I'm going Mike Evans. I think he's got the better matchup. Fantasy Mind says Najee Harris, CeeDee Lamb, or George Kittle. Flex. I'm in DraftKings, so it's a tad different. I'm assuming DraftKings. Right. Okay. DraftKings. Shit. This is difficult. PPR, I'm assuming. I think I would go Najee. But CD is the other option I would consider. I think I would go Najee, but CD is a close second.
Lamb or George Kittle flex. Najee Harris, CeeDee Lamb, or George Kittle. I'm in DraftKings, so it's a tad difficult. Would you say? Sorry?
I think that you can start. I personally would go Najee, but I think CeeDee Lamb isn't a bad answer.
This is a pick. This is a pick one, right?
Pick one.
Yeah. I would say CeeDee Lamb. I think he just has a better opportunity. The matchup, maybe. Najee has a great matchup as well. It's a toss-up, man.
Yeah.
We're going to get this answer wrong. I think it's a toss-up. For me, it's a CeeDee Lamb or Najee Harris. I agree. I personally like CeeDee Lamb's opportunity, though.
Yeah. Okay. TRG King says 18 PPR. Murray, Cook. What is this? This looks like the entire team.
Any move. He just wants us to move.
So
if he wants to do something. Look, in an 18 league, it feels like every team is good, right? There's so much talent on your team already. Okay? I mean, you have Cook and Austin Eckler with Daryl Henderson with Daryl Henderson as well.
Sutton and Waddle are free agents. So I think he just wants to know if he should grab one of them.
I would personally grab, for me,
Waddle.
Yeah, I think Waddle is a better guy to grab, see what happens. Will Fuller looks like he's in question right now.
Yeah.
Try that, man. Woods or Mike Williams from Oliver. What's good, brother?
Woods. He's just I feel better. I feel more confident about him. I like the upside of Mike, but I feel more confident in Robert Woods.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see, who else do we have? Marty. I traded Antonio Brown for Melvin Gordon. Did I lose this trade? I feel like Tom Brady has so many receiving options. I completely agree. I think you could have gotten a lot more for Antonio Brown.
I think you could have
Melvin
more.
Gordon. If it was just a clean swap, I think you could have gotten a lot more.
Yeah.
I've
been saying all offseason that Devonte will take that job by the end of the year. A lot of people are saying this. Melvin Gordon looked amazing last week. I'm sorry, but if you watch the game, you're completely wrong. He was like, without that one run for 70 yards and a touchdown, he would have averaged like 2 yards a carry, and it looked bad. So that one run saved his ass. I don't think he looked good at all. Yeah, I hate to say it because I know you just made the trade, but I think you could have got more. Miles Sanders, Damien Harris, Daryl Henderson. Thank you for the subscription. Thank you, Jay Posey. You know what I mean?
Really appreciate you, man.
I think you could have got more. Maybe even a Chris Carson. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say that, but can you answer Luke's question? I'm going to go to the bathroom quickly. I'll be right back.
All good. Luke, AB or Debo? We would go Debo Samuel. We would rather have him over AB. We believe AB's a boomer bust if you haven't heard already. There's too many mouths to feed in Tampa. So for me, and I'm pretty sure for Zach, it's Debo Samuel. Mark, you said my name correctly on the first try. That's savage stuff, boys. Now all good, brother. It's all love. It's all love here. You already know what it is. Aiden, I just traded Joe Mixon and Russell Gage for Kareem. Did I win? Absolutely. Russell Gage is kind of a throwaway piece, in my personal opinion. Joe Mixon, Kareem, and Alvin Kamara just has better opportunity than Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon did great this past week, but you already know, Alvin Kamara. I said Kareem Hunt. I keep saying Kareem Hunt. Sorry, Alvin Kamara has a better upside every single week. The PPR is definitely deadly there with Alvin Kamara. Fantasy Minds, which Tampa Bay receiver would you start out of Evans, Godwin, and Brown? For us, it will always be Chris Godwin. I'm pretty sure Zach can agree. We would both say that Chris Godwin will be the more consistent going throughout the year. Even in the offseason coming in, picking out of these three, we always believe Chris Godwin was going to be the more consistent wide receiver. Mike Evans, we believe he could be more consistent, but he's more the touchdown guy. We see him being more of the guy that's going to be in the end zone, the big body, fade route to the corner, and then Mike Evans will catch the ball. Chris Godwin is the PPR monster, and AB is the boomer bust. So for us, we think that Chris Godwin would most likely be the receiver we'll be starting every single week.
Yeah.
He's back. Sorry, I didn't even see you. I'm just.
You're good.
Marty, I think you're right.
Question?
Yeah. I think the next question is Luke Myers. 10 PPR, okay. 10 team PPR. QB1 Dak Prescott. Running back 1 Dalvin Cook. RB2 is JT. Wide receiver Keenan Allen, Roberto Woods, and then Hawkinson and flex.
It's a good
AB
team, but I think
Debo.
In general, 10-team leagues are always your team looks good. But it's a good one.
I agree. It is a good one. I do like it.
All right, James Martin says thoughts on Woods rest of season. I'm not worried about Woods. There's a lot of people who are panicking. Woods and Kupp are. I think if what you need to take away from that last game is not to panic about Robert Woods, but to be excited about Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp has this great connection with Matthew Stafford, but Robert Woods is still going to be very fantasy relevant. Where you drafted both of those guys, you're going to return good value on both of them, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think each and every week, like, for example, I think this week could be Roberto Woods' week where he has more fantasy points than Cooper Kupp. I think it's just going to flip-flop every time. I think these guys are going to be consistent from at least 12 to 16 to 17 fantasy points a week. And it's just going to flip-flop every week in points, in my personal opinion. But I think both are great starts.
Yeah. TRG King says, so Waddle for Davis. I feel like Davis won't be as valuable once his team is healthy, or maybe drop Beasley, although Beasley may be booming if Bills keep with the passing game. Honestly, no, you don't drop Corey Davis for Jalen Waddle. The upside is there for Jalen Waddle, but Corey Davis is the clear wide receiver 1 on a team. That's not very easy to find. So I guess the question is Beasley or Jalen Waddle. That's pretty tough, but I think I would lean towards keeping Beasley.
I agree. I think he just has a better quarterback. He's in the better offense. The expectation of him finding either the end zone or getting more PPR points per week is probably more on Cole Beasley than on Jalen Waddle.
I love Colt.
In my opinion. I said Cole.
If you guys don't know, Vidaki always says Colt. And he's like, no, I said Colt. I said Cole. Let's just embrace it. Let's just embrace Colt.
I need to really pronounce my words better.
But I guess in short, TRG King, while Waddle's upside is through the roof, I can't drop Corey Davis for that upside. I think I would. I know Sterling Shepard looked great, but looking at his team up there, I think I would rather have Jalen Waddle than Sterling Shepard still. And by the way,
really?
Brian, you have Bryan Edwards here. Bro, drop Bryan Edwards for Jalen Waddle. That's much easier. I like Bryan Edwards, but there's still no guarantee that he's going to be a fantasy stud. So this is actually easy. You drop Bryan Edwards and you grab Jalen Waddle. Just to wrap that question up.
Yeah.
Don't you agree?
That's
you would rather have Jalen Waddle than Bryan Edwards, right?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. Here we go.
Aiden.
I traded Zeke for DK Metcalf. Thoughts? One, depends on your team, what you needed. If you needed a wide receiver and you have good running back depth, but I think trading Zeke for DK,
it's okay.
You could have gone maybe a little bit more. Maybe you could have gotten like a low tier running back. Maybe you could have gotten a Damien Harris. Maybe
you're saying like as well as DK.
Yeah, I would have traded Zeke for DK and a low tier running back if I truly needed something. Like when I say low tier running back, I think of maybe even get a Ronald Jones just as a bench piece to see what happens.
Yeah, because I don't think anyone's giving up Damien Harris and DK.
Right, so that's why maybe that was a bit too much, but those are the guys that I think of. Somebody small, but somebody that also has like low key value.
Even a Tyson Williams, a Devonta Williams, Chase Edmonds, a James Conner, but
running backs are we really value running backs here.
These are two fantasy stars that we're talking about. So when you do a straight up trade for trade, that makes it difficult because there's so much room for each of these guys to do different things. I see your comment down below. You say that I already had Kamara and James. James being James Robinson? Because if so, that makes me very worried.
Yeah, it does make us very, very worried.
I think James Robinson is so you did say Robinson. I think James Robinson is the clear best running back in Jacksonville. The issue is Urban Meyer has no idea what he's doing. So, man, that makes me nervous, dude. I'm not going to lie to you. It's relatively even trade value, but it does make me nervous. Robert Woods or Cooper Kupp versus the Colts. Thank you for the subscribe, Ed.
Appreciate you, man. Really appreciate
I think you start both Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp, but
hey, yeah, you had to start Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp.
If I had to choose one,
if you had to choose one, I think I'm going Cooper Kupp at the moment.
Based off of what we saw,
a better connection. Yeah, it looks like he has a better connection.
Based off what we saw, it is Kupp, but yeah.
JJ McVee. Sorry if I butchered your name. I'm just terrible with English. 10-man.
Second language.
Hurts, Zeke, Miles Sanders, Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson, Jared Cook. Should I flex Tyler Lockett, Kenyan Drake, or Elijah Mitchell? You have to flex Tyler Lockett.
Yeah,
you have to.
You have to.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that helps.
Nelson Aguilar.
That's relatively easy.
Fantasy Minds just with the one-on-ones here. Fantasy Nelson Aguilar or Cole Beasley.
That's pretty difficult, actually.
That's interesting, huh?
I think off the top of my head, I would go Cole Beasley because he's in an offense
I think so as well.
Is
it's better,
more pass happy. I think I'll go Cole Beasley, but it's close.
It's just better in my opinion. Here we go. TR Kings, no worries, brother. Really appreciate you.
By the way, if you guys don't know what's going on, we're answering start-sit questions for week 2. It's super helpful for you. Hey, thank you for the subscribe, Jason. It's super helpful if you guys say PPR, non-PPR, half PPR, and then you ask your question. We're answering all the questions in order. We'll get to your question. If you want your question answered straight away, there is the super chat option. What was the next question, Badaki?
Sorry, I'm just...
Do you think Jamar Chase is a wide receiver 1 in Cincinnati?
Yeah. I don't... Marty, do you think... I don't think so. I think we see this both differently. And not that I believe Tyler Boyd is number 1. I think T. Higgins looks like he's going to be number 1. But I think Jamar Chase is just going to be that deep ball threat, which is kind of feels like
Higgins. I think you used him all over the field. I think I've been saying this all offseason. I think it's T. Higgins, wide receiver 1, Jamar Chase, wide receiver 1B. Like they're both the wide receiver 1, and I think Boyd is on the out. But he's still a good wide receiver to have on your team.
Yeah, I agree. Mark, TRG, I would KK. Ron, what's good, brother? How you doing? Thanks for coming through.
What's up, Ronnie?
Great minds think alike from Mark. That's right. Code Gaming. Hey, Zeke for who? What do you mean, Zeke for who? Zeke?
I don't know if he's referring to a question that we already talked about. I'm not sure.
Maybe.
No, I'm saying. I can't get over it.
Start Tua or
Sam Darnold.
I was gonna say.
I'm just gonna look at their matchups real quick.
Darnold. What did Joe say?
Sam Donald.
Sam Donald.
That wasn't Joe. That was Joel.
Joe, my bad.
Yeah.
One of our friends in our league, he was like, "Hey guys, we're doing our draft. In the middle of the draft, he goes, "What do you think about Sam Donald?" We're like, who the hell's Sam Donald?
That's really tough because I think the answer could I think when we go look back on the week, it could be either of those guys. There's not a clear answer, and obviously that's why you're asking the question. Mm-hmm. But I just want to make sure we say that because it is a very difficult question to answer. I think I would lean Darnold over Tua. I trust.
I trust.
Like when I look at the
Darnold
defense
and Matt Rule and everything.
I think I'd trust like going against New Orleans over going against Buffalo, which sounds crazy, when I say that out loud. But for fantasy purposes, I'm going Darnold because of the options that he has. That feels like a bad one though.
Nah, I'm going Darnold. Micah.
Yeah.
Deontay Harris, Higbee, Rager, or Pittman for flex. I think Higbee. Oh no, yeah, Higbee.
Deontay Harris, Higbee, Rager, or Pittman for flex. Yeah, it has to be Higbee.
Yeah.
Gotta wait and see on Michael Pittman. I still like Pittman as a stash, but gotta wait and see. Aiden says thanks for the feedback, of course, bro. Man, I just think that he saved Sermon for tomorrow. We're still on this with Tommy. Tommy.
Tommy's funny.
We can only tell you what we would do, bro. I get the worries. There's definitely reasons to worry. At the end of the day, we'll tell you what we would do, but you do have to follow your gut. You have to follow your gut, So I get it.
Yeah, I agree.
Flex Juju or Ayuk? Juju.
Yep.
Just have to wait and see on Ayuk. You can't start him right now. Gotta wait and see. Tommy says, what about Mooney? I just have a gut feeling about Mitchell. Shanahan may bench him. I'm not starting Mooney over Mitchell.
No, there's no. I can't even do that. There's no way I can do that. No. You go with the higher upside. I mean, if I understand the feeling, and if you have that gut feeling, start him and be confident about it. But we're going to tell you that we wouldn't start Mooney over Elijah Mitchell.
Yeah.
And I don't even like to say that because I'm not a huge Elijah Mitchell fan. I'm not starting Mooney over Elijah Mitchell.
Yeah. Next question.
I think Jason PPR, Juju, or Ayuk. We said that already. I don't know. We're going to butcher your name, so I'm just going to answer your question. Nyheim Hines or Mike Davis? Hines. Oh.
B. Harnon. Yeah, I will go Hines.
Mike Davis was our sit of the week.
He is our sit of the week.
We have to go Hines.
That's hard, man, because we could easily get that one wrong. Davis might get more opportunity, but I think I'm going to Hines. I'm sorry that we're not confident in that answer, but, I would go Hines. Aiden says Stephon Diggs for Tyreek Hill. I would prefer Tyreek, but
yes, I agree.
They're both great.
I completely agree.
Who's the quarterback? A.
Who's the quarterback? A.
Let's answer Ed's question here. Need to in a PPR: yeah. Julio Jones, Elijah Mitchell, Chase Edmonds, DJ Chark, James Robertson. I think you mean Robinson or AB.
Antonio Brown. I think I'm starting Julio. I'm not starting Chark. Let me eliminate. I'm not starting Chark. I'm not starting James Robinson. So now it leaves Julio, Mitchell, Chase, AB.
This feels like another question that we could potentially get wrong because there's so many options that have similar upsides and floors. I think
for me, for sure pick is Julio. I think we can both agree on that. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to continue to lean on our start of the week, and that's Chase Edmonds.
Okay.
I like what's happening there. I think Julio and Chase Edmonds are good starts. I understand why you would pick Elijah Mitchell, but I think I'll lean on our start of the week.
No, here. I agree. I've had Edmonds over Mitchell, even though I want to start Mitchell in most leagues.
Yeah.
AB feels like the guy who could screw that up for you if he's on your bench, but it's boom or bust with him.
Who's the quarterback in defense of the week? I think that's what he was saying. Defense of the week are the Browns. They're playing the Texans.
As far as streaming options, yeah.
Yes. As far as streaming options and quarterback, man, it's up in the air, man. It really is.
Obviously, Kyler's gonna have a great opportunity. Russell Wilson has a great matchup against Tennessee. I think Josh Allen has a chance to bounce back. Aaron Rodgers has a chance to do something special. Same with Herbert and Dak. So a lot of good quarterbacks out there.
Yeah,
Baker
really
or Cousins? We're going Cousins. We've answered that one before tonight. So we would go Kirk Cousins strictly because when you look at each matchup, it feels like the Vikings or Kirk will have a better chance to throw more touchdowns, whereas Baker, this feels more like a Chubb game on the ground. New Orleans defense has had me nervous after holding Aaron, but I appreciate it, guys. Thanks. Gotcha. That's with the Darnold question. Ron, full PPR. Thoughts on trading Hines for Javonte Williams? Outside of Hines, I have Mixon. Okay, before we answer this, yes. I don't need to hear anything else. I want Javonte Williams over Nyheim Hines. I think he has a... Oh, wait. Jay Davis? Who's Jay Davis? I thought that was Javonte Williams. Oh, no, he did say Javonte Williams.
I'm so confused on what question are you reading? I'm not seeing this.
Ron LeGrand, YouTube.
On my screen, it says that he retracted his message. So
I just see it on the stream.
Yeah, which is good.
Maybe here on Streamlabs. But anyway, just to answer your question, Ron, I would rather have Javonte Williams over Nyheim Hines. Yes. Gator says, are you okay with rostering both Connor and Hines as depth running backs? Yeah, definitely. I think they're both good guys to have on your bench as wide receivers, fours.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be sorry, Tommy. It's all good, brother.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Thanks, though. It's hard. Yeah, I agree.
Aiden says, I just traded CMC for Tony Pollard. This is obviously a troll.
You definitely won there, brother. I mean, 200 IQ from you. I completely agree.
If there was a game that would be high scoring and close, what would you choose? Sorry for the weird question, but I'm in pools. If there was a game that would be high scoring and close, so like a game of the week that's going to be high scoring and close, I think Chargers and Cowboys comes to mind instantly.
I think Seahawks, Colts. I think of these teams, these high caliber teams. I think
Cardinals, Vikings.
Oh, sorry. My bad. Am I looking at the wrong week?
Here's the teams that come to mind, right? Yeah, you are looking at the wrong week. Ravens, Chiefs.
My bad. Hold on.
Chargers, Cowboys. Cardinals, Vikings. Seahawks, Titans. Those are all games that feel like high-scoring games. But I would rank it Ravens, Chiefs, Cardinals, Cowboys, Vikings, Cardinals.
Yeah. It's really hard because if you're like betting, I don't want to say that we know how to bet, but
we know we just like to not tell people what to do with their money. We don't want to be the reason that you lose.
That's the best thing to say. Hey, we can tell you what we would do, but if you want to do whatever you want with your money, Waterboy, CMC, Waterboy, Gronk or Goddard? I'm a bot. This is an actual bot.
This is a bot asking a question. No, so this is 3,000 IQ because someone has set up a bot for their fantasy team to go ask people on YouTube questions, and then they'll retrieve the answers from the bot all in one format. Wow, that's just 3,000 IQ. Gronk or Goddard? I think I lean Gronk, but it's close. Gronk has a better matchup. I think you're probably going to say Goddard.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Who does he play again? I'm trying
Goddard
to go
plays
to my
San Francisco.
It's just lagging on my screen here.
Goddard plays San Francisco, the 49ers, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm going Goddard as well there.
Yeah. Well, I said Gronk, but I figured you would say Goddard.
Yeah. Aiden, I think so too. Marty, will Sen go off with Judy out? The expectations that you hope that he goes off, I don't think he'll go off this week. We would like to wait and see before we start him. But there is an opportunity that Cortland does have a decent game. Where I'm just not starting him this week. Once again, I think Zach said earlier, you just have to wait and see with any of these Broncos wide receivers. Completely honest.
Mm-hmm. I'll just say this quickly as well, by the way. What we saw from week 1, some things are telling. I think what we saw from Sutton was a little bit telling. Judy's out of the game. He still only finishes with 1 reception.
Mm-hmm.
So it feels like what should have happened was Sutton steps up and has a big game. Maybe it was a good defense and they planned around Sutton. So it is a wait and see approach at this point.
Yeah, I think it's a Teddy B thing. I don't think
Could be.
Not that he doesn't like to throw the ball like deep or on the outsides, but the middle of the field just feels more comfortable for Teddy, in my personal opinion. So it's hard.
Can I just say quickly? We started this stream with 1,120 subs. We now have 1,151. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for helping us grow the channel. What's the next question?
Marty, also, I have Sterling Shepard, and I'm looking to trade for running back. Who are some realistic options?
That's a good question.
Look, that's a great question. Sterling could be a good guy to get some good value out of somebody now.
Nyuk Hines comes to mind.
I think you can get a little bit more. I think you go higher than Nyuk Hines.
Think so? Okay.
I guess it depends on people. People like to see consistency. You sell the consistency with Sterling Shepard. You sell that he is the only wide receiver on this team. Kenny G is not going to do anything. Saquon looks bad. Daniel Jones needs to throw the ball, and it's going to be to Sterling. That's what it feels like right now. That's how you sell it. I wish I could open up my ranking, my computer.
So
I wish I was
names
home.
that come to mind.
So slow.
Names that come to mind for me at least would be. See, I don't think anyone's looking at Sterling Shepard and saying, "Oh yeah, like I will give you a Devonta Williams."
No.
Like Mike Davis.
No.
I just don't think. That's why I say Nyuk Hines, because I feel like he's a safe bet for a trade. I don't see anyone giving up like a Melvin.
Yeah, I agree. I don't see
Henderson.
anyone giving up a Melvin or anyone. Yeah, I completely agree with you there.
Is there a better option than Nyuk Hines that you would throw out?
I can't. I was trying to look, but I just couldn't see it. I just couldn't see anything. I'm not giving up a Gaskin, a Damien Harris, a Daryl Henderson. All those guys seem too high at the moment, so I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Aiden says Eckler or Henry. I think AB. If Eckler gets targets. Eckler or Henry. Well, just to answer the question, I would go Eckler. I think he's got better PPR upside. Dolphins or Bills and Chiefs. Dolphins versus Bills. Chiefs versus Ravens. Who you guys got? I got Bills over Dolphins, Chiefs over Ravens, and I got Cowboys over Chargers.
Yeah, I agree.
Will Zeke run for 100
yards?
I mean, 100 is actually a pretty high bar to set for any running back.
I think he will go. I think you at least minimum for me at least 55 and a touchdown.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for the sub, Joseph. Appreciate that. I would say 65 and a tutty, but yeah. Need a flex. DJ Moore, Jamar Chase. I would probably go DJ Moore there. But Aki, do you feel any particular way?
I agree. DJ Moore.
All right. I'm glad we see that the same. Who wins this?
Message?
Who wins this week, Luke or Zach?
Hey, Joseph, thanks for subscribing. Just take your message. Obviously, Luke. Zach's going to lose. I'll continue going on with some of these questions. Rolla, Corey Davis, Jalen Waddle, or Nelson Aguilar. I think we will both go Corey Davis there. We love Jalen Waddle. Nelson Aguilar had a decent game. He found the end zone. But Corey Davis just feels like he's the only guy there at the moment.
Yeah.
As Zach's checking his message. Let me know how you feel. I'm a little bit in the time crunch here, guys. But I think Zach might continue here, to be completely honest. Because there's a lot of people asking questions. We want to get to everyone's questions. And I have family waiting for me. So that's what we can do here. I don't know if you want to do that.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Easy.
Here we go. I'll answer a couple more questions for you guys.
No, it's all good. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Badaki's going to head off here, and I will keep answering questions.
If you want, I'll just have my little face on the thing so people can see that you're not talking. You're talking to me or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, all love, guys. Hey, just keep asking the questions for Zach. That's going to help you out. Obviously, we have different perspectives. I wish I can go as long as I possibly can. Usually I could, and I would. Just this weekend is a little bit different. I'm hanging out with family. It's been a little while since we've seen him. But Zach got it. If you have any more questions, though, there's not many more questions. Huge love for everyone, at least on my side, for liking the video, subscribing here on YouTube. We're not getting off. Zach is going to continue. I'm getting off. All right.
All righty. Next question we got from Jonathan Rodriguez. Oh, we already answered that.
Deuces, y'all.
Foa M. Roller, Corey Davis, Jalen Waddle.
That's the one.
Okay.
That's the one that I answered. I asked.
What?
That was the last one I read, just by the way.
So you've answered this question?
Well, I said Corey Davis, Jalen Waddle, Nelson Aguilar, and I was like, you probably both go with Corey Davis.
Okay. Yeah. Agreed. HQ Productions, full PPR. Who should I flex? Tyson, Julio, or Jacoby Myers? Personally, I would probably go with Julio there. HQ Productions also says, I'm set to win by 20 and had Scary Terry. The thing with projections, guys, on any of these apps is they're wildly inaccurate. They're almost never correct. So, yeah, it's good that they say that you're up, but as much as someone overperformed, another player in your team can underperform. But that being said, I would go Julio Jones. Tommy said, hopefully Pat's defense gets me the W I really needed this week. Yeah, defenses are difficult to predict, but yeah, I think they can definitely do something special. Are you staying on, or are you you're like bye, and now you're just staying here?
I just didn't want to leave in the middle of your thing. I'm gonna leave now officially, so I'm just gonna turn off. But all love, y'all. Appreciate you.
All right.
Later, brother.
Later. Gator fan says, would you be willing to trade 2 running backs for Eckler, or would it be a RB and wide receiver for 1? Sorry, the stream looks a little bit different now, guys. Trying to figure out if I can make this look better. We'll just have to do what we have to do. Would you be willing to trade 2 running backs for Eckler, or would it need to be a RB and wide receiver for 1? I don't understand the question. I'm not sure, Gator. I think it depends on the players. Doesn't really matter the positions. Depends on the players and the value you get back, if that makes sense. Thanks, guys, for joining us. If you haven't done so, drop a like. I am here with you as long as you need me. And thank you, everybody who has subscribed so far. We've got a ton of subscribers. Big love. I'm going to answer your questions in order. Joseph says, lost Judy and won't start Ayuk. Should I flex both Devonte and Patrick, or Schwartz or Marshall? So you lost Judy. You're not going to start Ayuk. I agree. That's probably the best thing to do. I would be flexing Devonte, and then I would go Tim Patrick if your options are between Tim Patrick, Schwartz, and Marshall. It doesn't look sexy at all. It's not fun to be in that position, so I get where you're coming from. But, yeah, I would go Devonte and Patrick. But Schwartz is a nice pickup, especially if you're in a dynasty league. Schwartz is definitely a guy that I'm looking to potentially pick up if I can in dynasty. Next question from Aiden. Y'all have helped me out a lot. Thanks. I don't have any more questions. Hey, big love. Big love, guys. Well, we got 13 people watching on YouTube, 5 on Twitch. If you guys have any questions left, don't be afraid to ask them. I'll just look at the matchups that we have right now and just kind of talk in generalities until I have an actual question. So you can see me here at the top. Just so you guys know, we actually have a live stream as well, where we cover the Sunday night football games and the Thursday night football games. which has been really, really, really fun so far. It's called Talk It Up. Some of you might have joined us, but that's been really enjoyable. So obviously for the Ravens-Chiefs game, we will be live for this one. And we'll probably have a mate over who is actually a Ravens fan, so that will be fun. We just watched Washington at Giants, or Giants at Washington, excuse me, which was an insane game. I'm a Washington fan. My co-host, or my partner in crime, is a Giants fan, Badaki. But yeah, we gave our upsets of the week. My upset of the week was Panthers over Saints. I think they have a possible chance to get an upset here. Most people are probably going to choose the Saints. I think the Panthers defense is better than people give it credit for, guys. This Panthers defense is legit. Brian Burns probably, and I'm a Washington fan, he probably got snubbed for Rookie Defensive Player of the Year. And this defense is legit. I like what the offense looks like. CMC is back. Looks like we have another question here. Joseph says, flex Robert Woods or Daryl Henderson, half PPR. That's pretty difficult, especially considering it's half PPR. Let me look at this matchup real quick. I believe they're facing the Colts, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Yeah, they are facing the Colts, which is pretty good defense. I think half PPR makes this even more interesting. If it was just PPR, I would probably go Robert Woods, but because it is half PPR, I think I would lean Daryl Henderson. I know it's very, very close, but because it's half PPR, I think I would go Daryl. Marty says, what stood out to you the most week one? It was the Cardinals for me. Yeah, the Cardinals were a nice surprise. I think the question that people have to ask is, was that an indication of the Cardinals as a team or the weaknesses of the Titans? So that was definitely a game that was interesting, and it will be interesting to see how these two teams play. I think the Cardinals are sick of people saying that they're overrated, and they showed that on Sunday. So I really, really enjoyed that game. What stood out to me the most about week one? That's a good question. What stood out to me the most? I think, honestly, all in all, I was just very disappointed in week one. Not as an NFL fan, but just as a fantasy manager, I was disappointed in so many different areas. Maybe what stood out to me the most is how terrible Urban Meyer is as a coach. I'm sorry, but it doesn't take a genius to know that you give James Robinson, a young star who had over 1,000 yards last year, if I'm not mistaken, and you have James Robinson, and then on the other side you have Carlos Hyde. It doesn't take a genius to know that you should be giving James Robinson the workload, but I guess he wants to be almost like Matt Nagy, where he just wants to prove everyone wrong. Oh, I know something you don't. Well, no, you don't, Urban. You just made the wrong call. It was such a frustrating game to watch, and if you own James Robinson like me, going after the first quarter, realizing James Robinson didn't even have an attempt. This isn't actually that hard. You give James Robinson the ball, 5 carries compared to Carlos's 9. Oh, that was probably the most frustrating thing to me. I lost hope in the Jags long term. I hope that he can figure out that the better option is James Robinson in that backfield, but we'll have to see. What's up, Foa? He says, hey, man, thanks for all the help. Do you think Mike Williams or DJ Moore is a better option this week, half PPR? Hey, that's an interesting one. Thank you for the question. If we look at half PPR, that would make me lean a little bit more towards Mike Williams because he's not ever been known to be this PPR monster. He has been more a contested catch type player. So when I look at their matchups, obviously Mike Williams is going up against Dallas. DJ Moore is going up against New Orleans. It does make it very interesting that it is half PPR, But if I'm honest with you, my heart and my gut is still saying DJ Moore. And I think that's because of the connection that DJ Moore has already with Sam Darnold. So I definitely think it's a difficult decision, but I would lean DJ Moore there. It's very close. So many guys underperformed. Yeah, you're right. Yep. They might get another number one pick again. You're right. Part of me is kicking myself for dropping Mike Williams before week 1, but also I know he can be boom or bust. Yeah, you're right, Gator. If anyone's going out there trading for Mike Williams, I think that's probably the wrong move because he could very easily bust. That's definitely every week that's something that could happen. We've seen this before with Mike Williams. It's not like this is consistent play now. We're like, oh my God, this is crazy. So Tommy, you're not alone there, bro. Week 1 made me so mad as well. But, hey, guys, I think we're probably going to end it there. Big love for joining us. I'll answer 1 or 2 more questions if anyone's got any more. We got 69 votes on the poll. That's amazing. That's what you want. Thank you for all the subs today. I think we got like over 100 or over 30 subs on one stream, which is insane. We've never gotten that many subs. So big love. Honestly, I lost so many matchups last week. So if you're in that place, you're not alone. Let's hope that this is a better week for us and that the players that we believe in perform and they show who they actually are. That's what we want to happen. So best of luck in week 2, guys. We do this every week, Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We also will be live for the Sunday Night Football game if you'd like to join us. Would love to have you there. But yeah, best of luck with everything. And we will see you next week.